If you didn't hear the first time, it's overtime.
They're lining up the prisoners and the guards are taking aim. I struggled with some demons, they were middle class and tame. I didn't know I had permission to murder and to maim. You want it darker? We kill the flame.
It's a dog fight. Woof, 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 woof. Meow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meeting of the Minds, the longest hour in recorded broadcast history. BA is dead. John from Scranton is dead. I'm here with Hit the Post, host of Hit the Post live on.
Ruined my promo. Mixcloud.com. Is this it?
That's it. That's the show. Ready to. Can we make sure Mr. Fitz has the link? He seems pretty eager to come on since Killer Kowalski's not here, and that was his job. I don't want Bobby Fitz waiting around. Justin made sure he was ready the other day on that shit show, on the KMS wrap up. I have an order right now, so the floor is yours. Hit the post.
I'll DM him.
These two guys. Did you get a view of them? Did you get a view of that?
Of what?
The couple.
Why are you creeping on people?
He just kind of like leashed him with his shirt to make sure they went through the circle door. Like leashed them, like made sure that I didn't. You like it's not normal for public people. I got William R. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna squeeze in a door with you. Even if you're my buddy, I'm not gonna. Well, actually, probably if you're my buddy, I like to make things weird. How'd you think last night went?
That was good.
Cool. I like that. I actually watched the whole show. John made me laugh a little bit for once with his super when he just like left, told you to fuck off and stayed and did 15 minutes. I thought that was good. It made me feel like Good versus Evil has clout, has a presence. Can we get this?
I didn't want to talk.
Can we get this shot? I feel beautiful. Thanks. It's like Italy, you know what I mean? It's like little Italy.
Looks nice.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Italy?
Oh, look who we got.
No way.
You got me.
Is this the new guy?
The new guy? That would be me.
Is this Bobby Fitz? Is that your
sure
name?
Is.
Is your name
It
Bobby?
is. It is.
All right, that's a shame that you. I mean, now there's no mystery.
I'm not a very mysterious guy.
I like to dox people, so you ruined that for me.
I apologize.
But pleasure to have you, my good man. I just felt like it was necessary after what I almost watched the other day.
Okay.
But no, you seem to be the hot ticket in the Minifan world last week. And like the past month, I think we tried to get you on like a month ago. So I just
I
want
think it's
your real hardcore Minifan opinion because we don't get those anymore.
about Kirk, about the show. What
Well,
specifically?
no, we can dibble dabble into that as we go, but I'm just saying hi right now. That's all. Good
Okay.
evening, Kill.
Who we with?
Have you met Hit the Post, Mr. Fitz?
Yeah, I don't know how to show the names.
My name's not coming up.
No, it's there. He just doesn't know how to do things yet because he's learning.
Yeah, I don't know how to show the names.
It's there. It's a setting there on the producer little thingy. We don't need to worry about that. I'm not concerned with that. It's not going to ruin the show.
Okay.
So, Killer, are you here?
All right. Go ahead.
Killer, stop it. Don't play with me. I'll leave right now.
Well, I'm hit the post. I DM'd you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Killer Kowalski, the guy in the bottom right corner.
Bottom left.
Dark Leve. Your bottom
Right
right,
there.
my bottom left, my bottom. Well, that's you. I'm sorry. You see the hockey player next to you?
I do.
Yeah, that's a guy. His name is Shark Leve. His name is Killer Kowalski. He's on Twitter. He's got
I got
a
it.
bit of a really wide mouth and likes to talk a lot, but unfortunately at the moment he's muted. So I just want to clear up the scheduling that we had with you because he seems to feel like you are his guest. I seem to know that you're my guest. I just don't want you to waste too much time here because you're a great guy and this is not supposed to be serious. And we're already doing too much. We're already acting like this is a real show. And I feel nervous, and I don't like that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hit the post. Can you take the reins? Because I'm losing it.
Okay. You're pretty crazy on Twitter, huh?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably am a little bit. Yeah, a little stupid on Twitter.
You're a good Twitter follow, though.
I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Maybe not.
I think so.
How'd you get your start? How did you get your start on Twitter? Were you a Discord guy? Were you a Twitter guy?
No, really. I just, I mean, I had been on and off for a while, and now I came back on, and I always liked Kirk. I mean, I don't think you're really into the show, right? You don't really watch the show, but that's
we could talk about that after. That seems like a shot that I just took below the belt, but sure. Yeah, I hate Kirk.
Yeah, it seems like which is fine. I mean, but Twitter's fun. I don't take it seriously. I do a lot of hockey stuff on Twitter. Really, a lot of hockey stuff. I was on. We're doing a lot of hockey shit with the Cassidy thing today when he got hired in Vegas. So I do a lot of that stuff.
Really excited for that.
Yeah, you disappeared.
He's hiding.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. But like, yeah, I'm not like going anywhere. I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry about me. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I need to get out the way. I feel like I am I'm not I don't think I'm the president of the Minifans anymore. I think that title got taken away from me. Visionless Dave gave me that, and then he took it away, and now I don't have it back. But I am I'm a Minifan. And I like Kirk a lot, and I don't like that you said that I wasn't, and I don't think that you know who. I don't think you know me a little bit.
Probably not. I mean, I some of it. Maybe I get confused with some other guys. I don't know everybody yet. You know what I mean?
Do you think I'm Portuguese? I'm not one of those guys.
I don't know. I wouldn't know if you're Portuguese or not.
Did you watch the Star Wars watch along or the McChicken Challenge? Did you hear about the McChicken Challenge?
I did not. Nope.
Damn it! What else hit the post? I'm losing. I've been on so many things.
More recently.
I haven't seen a lot of Kirk things. I'm new to the Minifan world. I go back a little.
Since when? Since when? Let's go. What was your first episode?
How about the milk chug?
My first episode, so I was an EEI Kirk guy. I go back to like old EEI, and my first episode of Minahan was when he had Callahan on, and it was probably the old show. And then I started getting into his podcast. The whole podcasting thing is brand new to me.
Okay.
Brand new. So I'm learning.
What was the first Kirk Minahan show episode you listened to?
The one with it was that. Did he do Minahan on the new one with Callahan, or was that enough about me?
He was at the 5K last year, and he just did it again recently. But like, you're probably talking about when he did the 5K last year.
No, he did a show, and he had Jerry on to talk about the split at EI, and that was either on his podcast at Enough About Me or whatever. And then I got into all of the stuff, and I did all the episodes with Steve and K-Marco and all. And then I started. That was really my first introduction to any podcasting, is following him.
I think I know how we can fix this. So once upon a time, there was an old man that was woken up by Steve the day that Steve was getting demoralized because he didn't get the sound from the Fenway walk around.
Something similar to that. Yeah, something like that. The old stuff, the Steve stuff is really good. The Steve stuff was really good. It seems like it's different now. It's faded into a different type of show, but whatever.
It's extremely sad. It's very sad. But I know that Steve's close, so that's what's good. Because I think he's just cashing in his Ethereum day by day now, or Bitcoin, whatever one he has. Him and Brian Mike are going to be rich.
You think he's coming back? Is what you think?
I think that he's always going to be able to come. He's set up his life now where he's so mobile. It's not even like it wouldn't be a big deal. And I think that Cullinane's doing such a satisfactory job right now. There's no reason to come and save the show again. But things take time, as we know.
Yeah. Well, you like Barstool, because I did flick through some of your shit when I was getting ready to come on here. You kind of follow up. Yeah,
I like like you said, EEI, because Kirk and them would have Portnoy sneak in there on a Tuesday morning or something like that once in a while. So and then he went and he got arrested for Tom Brady, and that was the extent of my Barstool knowledge. But since Kirk's gone there, I think we've gotten a taste of everything we don't really care about, but we try. We try.
Yeah, at this time, I'd like a little bit more friction, and I even try to get into that a little bit with Justin on the wrap up,
right? Like the Willie Colon shit, like stuff like that it doesn't seem like it. I think Portnoy, or there was a memo in Erica, be nice. There had to be something like that sent out.
Well, Erica's literally trying to turn the fucking company into The View. So I don't know what the fuck direction she's going.
I finally unfollowed her the other day. I had to do that. I appreciate her tokenness in the world, but not for me.
That guy, Turtle Boy, he fucking kills her. He murders her every day on some fucking thing, whatever it is. But
interesting, you mentioned him. I tried to stick Turtle Boy on a lunch lady last week, and one of my buddies just said, "No, not that fucking guy." Like he's the worst thing in the world. I think he's alright. Okay. We almost had him on recently. I forget why we almost had him on. Oh, we did have him on. He did come on here. He came on here to fight with somebody.
Yeah, you can't take. Anybody that takes anything on Twitter even remotely serious is a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? I put my name on it, I guess, just because I don't want people to think I'm trying to fucking dodge them or something like that. But,
are you verified?
I'm not verified, but I can verify.
I was kidding. Well, didn't Justin introduce you like an idiot as not the Fitzy? That was when I had to shut that off, because
he introduced me, I think, as the one not like Nick Fitzy Stevens. I think. Yeah.
He had
Yeah, I'm
like he
sure he's trying to fuck
had
with
to say that. Like that was so necessary because you look just like him and you sound just like him, and as we know so far, you're just as funny as him. So it made sense to make sure that wasn't confused.
I assume that's a shot at me, which is pretty good.
I think you're pretty funny. I'm laughing. I'm having a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind. I was surprised by them asking me to do that. I kind of felt like it was this. I don't want to say set up, but like, I don't know, I don't know why the fuck they would ask me to do it. Yeah,
Can
but I
you
did.
explain the process? Like maybe I believe Killer. What do you? Can you kick him out of here?
Kick me out.
Killer, go ahead.
No. I would never do such a thing, Mr. Fitz. There's a guy on the screen taking up a lot of space, and I don't know why he's
That's not nice.
here. He gave you permission to kick me out the other day, and that was unnecessary. So I'm asking you right now, if he's not going to speak and he's going to be a creep here, I would like his picture of a hockey player off the screen.
Jay, you haven't shut the fuck up talking about nothing for the last 10 fucking minutes.
There he is.
Humbling. So Fitzy,
Is that cool?
are you Cullinane or a Steve guy, buddy? I need to know that because you and Cullinane seem to flirt a lot on Twitter.
Oh, he's definitely turning on me. As the show goes, Steve's better. There's no doubt about it. I do think Dave adds some content, believe it or not, but it's, a straight up producer. Steve's excellent, but he's a technical producer. They're two totally different things. Dave's like a fucking sidekick. You know what I mean? And Steve was like a real producer. So that, I guess that's where I would stand on that.
Yeah, Dave's kind of a whack packer that can press buttons. As Labrat says, the show has never been better. I don't know. Based on Labrat's gripes, I don't know if that's necessarily true. He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man with a few gripes. But no, the show's been not bad at all lately. It's just it's never going to get back to peak 2019. I don't think.
But I think that's because I don't obviously know the man personally, but I think it's Kirk. Kirk drives that bus. If Kirk wants to fucking fight and get in the dirt with people, the show's fucking unreal.
Are you saying Kirk may have lost his fastball?
I don't know if he's lost his fastball or not. I think he can get his fastball whenever he wants. I was listening to his interviews the other day, and he, like that part of it, I think he's excellent when he does with that writer and then the golf guy. Like he's obviously an intelligent guy. It just seems like he doesn't want to get in the mud anymore. So maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's just how it is right now. The show's in a kind of calm period, but I think he's at his best when he's challenged by guys of his equal and he's fighting. I think the show's unreal.
Okay, so you say that, but then my next question is he never surrounds himself with anybody that's on his level.
It's the first DM when I shit on the show originally. My first interaction with Cullinane was I shit on the show, and that was the DM I sent him. I said Kirk's at his best when he's challenged by people of his equivalence, and I'm not shitting on Mike either. And I've started listening to some of his solo shit, which has been really good. But like when Kirk's got somebody of his talent in there, like Witt or maybe even Riggs when he comes in tomorrow, or somebody that really pushes back on him, he takes it up to a next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Ooh, Mailman Minahan is mailing it in. Okay, so then let's do this. Who's your favorite sidekick? Blind Mike, Clemmer, Justin?
Oh,
I personally, Steve Providence and Tim and Canton are my all-time favorite sidekicks, even though they only had one episode.
I didn't see their episode. They're good, like on Twitter. Obviously, they're big supporters and part of the show. I like Justin. I think Justin has some unearthed potential. I know he always
fucking dead to me.
Why you don't like Justin?
Justin's a fucking retard who can't take a joke.
Well, I mean,
he acts like he's in on the joke. Like as an example, Jay saw them last night at the Wilbur, and Cullinane and that dumb fuck Justin fucking couldn't even act like they've ever seen him before. Or, he was there to see the show. They fucking sit there with their arms crossed like they're too fucking cool to talk to anybody. They're fucking retards. If they weren't fucking handicapped losers, they wouldn't be on Kirk's show.
Like I said, that's a personal side to it. Like, that's the part I don't understand. If you go to all these live events and you meet people and you develop a friendship or a relationship with them or claim to get to know them, I'm not saying you did, then the fucking content suffers. Because then people won't go at each other as hard because they feel like they're friends. And I think that's what happened with fucking Clemmer. Like, I was never a Clemmer guy. I think some of this shit is okay, fine, whatever. And he gives it a try, which is more than I've ever fucking done. So I got to give him that. But like, if you think you're buddies with everybody, and I think Kirk does this on purpose. I don't think he tries to make Cullinane or any of those guys his friends because he wants to be able to fuck with them. And I think if you get on a personal basis with somebody, it's hard to fuck with. No, with me, I fuck with my friends more than I fuck with normal people. But I mean, I just think that's the thing.
Here's a good question, Ben. What do you think of the Blind Mike Sneakers versus Justin moment when he fucking honked outside the studio after Justin said his kids should die?
I probably didn't. I'm not aware of the episode. Like, I don't want to speak on shit I didn't see. Is that the one? Is that the one when Justin walked around like Western Mass for like 2 days or some shit?
No, he was phoning EI every day and harassing EI.
Oh yes, I remember that. Okay.
And then he said Sneakers' kids should die, so Sneakers was outside the studio honking the horn, and they got all fucking serious and were a bunch of babies about it. But meanwhile, they're okay fucking showing up at EEI and fucking picketing and doing shit outside to fucking Curtis and those guys. To me, it's no different. That's kind of where the disconnect is starting to come with the show.
Okay, so Sneakers is a fan of the show, and he rolled up on the set in Watertown and kind of fucked with them a little bit. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, he fucked with Justin. He fucking honked his horn outside, and fucking Justin tried to get like a restraining order. But they show up at WEI. Like, you can't have it both fucking ways.
I understand where you're coming.
Featherston's like fucking broke into Murchison's house, allegedly. We won't say that happened for sure.
Yeah.
He knocked on his
door. Yeah, knocked on his door.
I don't think Kirk wants that shit going on. And I guess what you're saying is that's a double standard. He doesn't want that shit going on at Watertown, but it's okay to barrage Murchison's house or whatever. Yeah. Maybe it's a double standard. But I think, does he know that the Sneakers know Justin? Do they meet at live shows and shit like that?
Oh, yeah. Sneakers, it was the king of fucking Madawaska.
Okay.
We've known Justin for quite a long time. Justin forgot his place. Justin forgot that it's like Justin was in another life, almost. Like, like he forgot that he died and came back again after Kirk gave him, untied the noose for him.
Sure. Well, you guys
was have a time where Justin was instructed. He was instructed to buy steel wire. Okay, go ahead. You're the guest. Go ahead.
No, you guys have a longer perspective and I guess a personal relationship with some of these guys that I don't. So in a different way, my opinion's a little different because it's just based totally on the show. I don't know any of them at all. Actually, I mean, I've been listening to.
It's just because we were there when the Discord started. Without the Discord, I don't think.
Kick them out now. I don't need to hear about the Discord. It's post.
Okay.
All I'm saying is like it's cool to have double standards. Just say you have a double standard, and people can move on.
Okay.
No different than Montante was supposed to have Sneakers on.
Are you Canadian?
Yeah.
Are you Canadian?
I am. Yes.
Did you play hockey up there?
I did. Yeah. That's funny.
Did you? Where are you from? Sackville, Nova Scotia?
No, I'm from Alberta.
Alberta. Okay. Yeah, Flames fan?
No, actually Anaheim Ducks. I fucking hate the Oilers and the Flames.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Well, no, I like I said, I don't. Justin just called me. I think like with the shit he was doing that day, like with EI, when he gets on a fucking tear, like the DeCaro book or some other things that he's done, I think he adds some content. But now I'm starting to think Mike's kind of funny too, when I never fucking did before. and now I'm like kind of seeing Mike in a different way. What's you guys' opinion on Mike?
Well, Mike's awesome.
Mike's
But
on
the
his
same
yeah.
thing, you can't bully DeCaro and then fucking whine about mental health. You can't be a fucking
Okay.
baby when people, you know what I mean, shit on you. Like that's where Kirk's good. Is Kirk doesn't have issues because somebody calls him a pussy on Twitter.
No.
Kirk has general issues, but Justin's a fucking baby and has issues when somebody honks a fucking horn or if you tell them that their kid should be dead. So that's where, to me, the double standard's off.
He's
Yes,
also a kid too, right? He's like 23 years old. Not that I don't know any of you guys' age or anything, but like he's a kid, right? He's like 24, 23 years old. Not that excuses it. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I get where you're coming from with the double
I
standard.
will say, Killer's leaving out that Justin stated that Sneakers kid. What was the kid thing? Billy Tibbetts thing. There was motivation like that. That whole
That's a completely
Sneakers
different thing
Justin
than
thing.
the studio, the honking. It's a completely different thing.
It
So why are
started
you
there.
adding
It
to
started there. It
No,
started
it
there.
didn't. That
It
was
started there.
after.
Oh, what, with
That-
Billy?
What are we doing here?
It started with Billy?
Are you
that was
a
just a
Tibbs guy,
that was like
Fitzy?
a
Am I what?
Are you a Tibbs guy? Are you a Billy Tibbetts guy?
I don't know how I'm going to answer that because I actually grew up with Billy and played hockey with Billy. So we were on the same team. So Billy and I go back a long, long way. So I don't like the fucking thing Billy does. As far as I'm a victim, I mean, not a victim. I don't give a fuck. But Billy attacked the fuck out of me too. So I mean, but I've known him. We were on the same fucking hockey team in Sioux City, Iowa. So I mean, Billy and I go back. But I don't approve of one fucking thing he does, and I think he's certifiably insane. But I also know Billy isn't gonna fucking really do those things.
Yeah.
But well, no, I mean, he's fucking Billy's dangerous. I'm not trying to fucking, underestimate him, but like, I just see it in a different way. You know what I mean? Well, however Kirk handled that, he handled it, and that's his business. And I don't want to get into the back and forth with Billy. I've known him since I was fucking 8 years.
It's crazy. Steve from Providence paid him all that money to say it.
I don't even know anything about it. And as far as how it all happened, as far as that goes, I obviously know Billy. I haven't seen Billy in probably 5 years, but like I said, we played hockey together. We grew up together. So I know he's still at it. I know he was gone for a while, and I see his posts, and he's crazier than ever. So,
Tibbs TV on Instagram always plays.
Yeah, but I mean, you understand. I like I said, I know he's fucking crazy. Like, there's no fucking act there. Billy's not acting. You know what I mean? There's no act there. He's certifiably fucking crazy.
Do you think you could beat Bobby Lang in a boxing match?
They got into. Didn't they? Somebody challenged Billy the other day in a fight like UFC, which he better be ready, and it better be a referee. Because fucking Billy will be there. So, I mean, I don't know. What happened?
$50, he said.
No, somebody, like a real UFC guy, was supposed to fight somebody or something like that, and he said, "Yeah, maybe you're right."
Was Tibbs an animal when he was younger? Like, was he just ridiculous to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, he came out. I was out in Sioux City. He joined us in I don't know, fucking November or something like that. He was only there for 6 weeks. But I had grown up. I'm from Quincy. Billy's from Scituate. So we knew each other growing up. We played in all the same circles and stuff like that. So, like, I didn't know him as the crazy guy he turned into be. Ultimate crazy guy he turned into be. But my friends got together and paid him. And he did one of those fucking crazy videos on me. So about our time playing hockey together. So I don't take him seriously that way. But if he was talking about my wife and kids, I would probably have acted the same fucking way. So fuck him if that's how he's going to be. And I'm sure he'll get this, and we'll have to do this all over again. But whatever.
Are you going to the Wilbur Fitzy or what?
I am going to the Wilbur. Yep.
Hopefully they get their shit together enough for the Wilbur.
Are you going?
No, I'm not. I got 2 years worth of weddings that I got to make up for now that fucking everybody can have weddings again finally.
Well, I mean, you're up in Canada anyway, right?
Yeah. No, I'm in Alberta right now.
Right. But as far as anything else with the show goes, I'm still into it. You guys listen to it regularly?
Oh yeah, I listen to every episode.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would it be fair to say, like, I know I asked you guys, none of these are your real names or anything like that, so I don't know what to call you. I guess Killer. Did you watch the? Do you think it's better now or better with Steve?
No, 2019. 2019 was like peak, like I loved like those fucking like 4-hour episodes and like
that fucking K Marco shit was some of the best shit I've ever listened to. For me, I love that. Going back at K Marco, having him fucking attack the fuck out of him, even though they're in the same company. And essentially, he got him fucking fired. You know what I mean? So I mean,
like that early stuff was just, it was so good. And that's what, like, it's tough to replicate because of the time too, right? Like the best, the show was very like unbelievable even in the beginning of 2020 when like the pandemic hit. And then they almost did too much content that they burnt themselves out.
Maybe. Like the Justin $29,000 shit, that's good content to me. Yeah. I mean, maybe he's just a fucking idiot, but like, it didn't seem staged or anything. Like, it seems real as fuck. That was genuine. I don't know how you miss a $29,000 bill is insane, but it can only happen on that show.
Yeah, but so, that's youth again, right? Like, that's youth and not knowing to get a quote and like all that stuff, just trusting and.
Well, I thought Billy slipped out the back door on that because that's really his responsibility. Justin's a fucking retard, but still, that's his responsibility, don't you think? In the end,
completely. But then it's also Kirk's responsibility to make sure that retard Dave fucking made sure that was. So it's a fundamental fail from the top down.
But I think the fundamental failures make the show what it is. And I actually do like Dave, and I do think he adds some content, believe it or not. His stories are fucking insane. Like, I mean, how many times have you been...
stories real?
No, of course not. Okay. I mean, how many times have you been shot at the fucking limo? Yeah, unless Billy's driving beside you. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, who the fuck gets shot at in a limo going down 95?
Well, he was at a wedding with fucking Tibbs and fucking Thrill Ride.
Yeah. Is Thrill Ride that fucking wrestler that Kirk hates?
Yeah.
I do think when you have a wife and kids, I think that's off limits. To me, it is. Maybe it isn't to other people and shit like that, which is their business. But I wouldn't go there. To me, that's out of the fucking question. If you want to go at,
I completely agree with that. But then once you bring up somebody else's, yours are fair game.
Yeah. You're probably right there. You're probably right. You're probably right.
About Craig's kid. Craig's a nice guy and won't say anything and sneaks bugs and shit out of Craig about it. But like when you say something about somebody's kids and then somebody else says something about your kids, like again, you can't have the double standard.
True, but I think it's a little different coming from a fucking psychopath than it is coming from Kirk Minahan. But I mean,
wow. Who's had more time in the asylum?
Good point. But I like Craig a lot. I have good interaction with him on Twitter. I like him a lot. I like him on Jerry's show because I'm a big Callahan fan too. I was actually a Dennis and Callahan fan in the Big Show forever.
We don't need to talk about Craig. We don't need to talk about Craig. It's okay.
We don't need you.
No, Craig's a great guy. Well, we can save that for another show.
Do you listen? So you were a Dennis and Callahan guy. Did you? Which one did you like better? Were you like a Jerry guy or a Dennis guy?
Well, John's crazy. John added before content became content. John was the content because he's fucking nuts. But I was probably more of a Jerry guy.
And then when Kirk came in, then did Kirk take Jerry's spot in your heart, or
I thought they were both great together. But yeah, I probably leaned a little bit towards more Kirk. But I like Jerry still today. You guys don't do old DEI, but I'm an old way guy from the beginning.
I go older than you do, 50, way older. How
old are you? 17?
Older than I was there when Kirk came out of John Dennis's peen hole. I was there with Mita Perrell. I was there with the Big Show. I was there, like I said, before Portnoy existed.
Yeah, they got a good beef too. I like Portnoy. I like this. I like Cats. I like some. I don't watch him much as I do the Kirk stuff. But did you guys say you went?
Come cats.
Gay cat, whatever the fuck, big cat, big kitty, Clement's boyfriend, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, but did you guys go to the foreplay the other night?
Jay went there actually. I'm sure he didn't comprehend anything that was happening, but he was there.
Okay, all right. It seemed like it was.
You said you don't know our names. You don't know my name's Jay.
No, you're all that mayhem. Are you?
Why would he know? Like,
I'm kidding. I was just trying to get him to see if he knew who I was the whole show, Killer. Do you get that?
I don't.
no.
I don't lie. I mean, that's one thing. I don't know everybody. Like I'm getting to know like Ted Sarandis and KMS. Menners has got me fucking confused. The fucking guy doesn't say a word, but he knows everything about the fucking show.
Menners is the best Minifan that there is.
Mental health.
Australian guy, right?
Menners?
One of them.
Yeah, isn't he? Okay, there's other ones like.
Oh yeah, the other
being
one's BA. Yeah, see, read the fucking chat, hit the post, and fucking follow the chat a bit here. Yeah, because it was like BA made this, but okay. So back to Dennis Callahan. So then when Kirk came in, you were more of a Kirk guy.
Yeah, well, I liked him. I was like, "Who is this new guy?" And he did infuse some. But the show had kind of lagged down a little bit, and it bogged down like that whole station had. And and then fucking 98.5 came in, and I hated Toucher and Rich. I hated, I didn't even like Felder and Maz at first. But like, Kirk kind of added something to the show, and he was good. His shit, what did he do? He went to 98.5 Studios and picketed Felder when he was shitting on Roy Halladay when he crashed his plane or something like that, right? That's what Kirk kind of stuff.
Videos I saw online.
That
made me like, man, this guy's fucking nuts and pretty funny.
He was good. He's, and he is good at what he does. And I'm not saying maybe I am saying he's mailing it in a little bit at this stage. Maybe he's saying he's mailing it in a little at this stage. But I'm sure he's got plenty of great content left in him if he wants to pull it out.
Yeah, I think it gets to be tough, right? Like, fuck, he's done already probably 500 shows.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Fitz. It's been a great night. Thank you for all your opinions on the show and whatnot. Killer, thank you for booking him. It was an awesome idea.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Jay's a retard. So with Craig, do you listen to a very good show?
I don't. Like, that's the thing. I was fucking with him on Twitter, and I like fucking with him. So I'm starting to do all the residual shows now. Like I do, like I'm doing Mike. I'm going through all Mike's. Now Craig is what? The host of Very Good Show?
Yeah, I would say he's kind of the head of Very Good Show.
And he's like, they all intertwine. They have their own personal stuff, and they produce this, and they're all kind of twined together. Carano sucks. I can tell you that. His shit
that's
sucks.
My next group of questions was about Carano. Were you a Carano guy?
Well, he fucking blocked me for no reason. I don't even think I said anything that bad. Certainly not even half as bad as the shit I said about other fucking people.
Have you ever seen when he sent like everybody a DM to block sneakers? That if you didn't block sneakers, he was going to block you, or if you were following sneakers and you didn't block him, that he was going to block you.
I follow sneakers. Maybe that's it. But then fucking Rico blocked. Like, that's the thing. I don't get the blocking thing. Like, it's content. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. I mean, I guess there's lines to be crossed. Like, I just happened to mention that Casey Smith did coke with Johnny Manziel, and she blocked me. Like, I thought it was fair. I thought it was fair. They were both at A&M together, and it was just a shot in the dark. But she fucking blocks me. Like, I mean, so, but whatever. I don't get the blocking thing. I would never block anybody. Ever. I don't care if they shit. These hockey guys shit on me all the time about my opinions, and I don't give a fuck. It's just, Twitter's a place to have fun, isn't it? A big playground.
It's a breath of fresh air, Fitz. It's a breath of fresh air.
Killer, you can go away. Thank you for doing what you do. Go away.
He's kicking you out.
Go away, Killer.
What are you doing?
Killer, go watch Very Good Show.
What are you doing?
Fitz, you know what? I'll love to have you on again when we have John and BA on. We better give Jay his time, or he might kill his cat. He's very mentally weak.
Okay, guys.
We'll give him his time. But yeah, when John and B are on, I'll definitely have you on again because you're good follow on Twitter and everything's funny as fuck with you.
All right, guys. Good to talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Fitzy, very much for coming on.
See you later. Have a good night.
Nice meeting you. See ya.
Jay's the worst. You're a fucking
Freddie Adu. Freddie Adu.
Okay.
Do my own fucking show.
I'll ready to do this bitch now.
Overtime.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry.
Do you really? Is that what you really want?
I just want Killer to stop
He can make
being
his
so
own thing.
fake. You're fake. You're fake. You're really fake. You pretend to do
What?
a real show when we have somebody like that's out from outer space. Like there's a random ass friggin' Minifan came out of fucking space and he's landed on the ground and all of a sudden we have to be pretend nice. That's so fake. Be yourself. You're so fake. You're so patronizing to the fucking people that just come on here the first time. It's not realistic. Don't treat me like that. This is my show. You never have a right to be here over me, over any guest. I don't need you to talk to hit the post. Good. Go away. Don't ever come on here unless you feel like you need to kill yourself. Then we'll be here. But other than that, I don't know why else you need to be here. You reach out, you have horrible fucking thoughts. You talk to people as if they're new to the whole world. They know everything about the world, more than seems most Minifans do. That's why he was on. I don't know why you have to patronize. It's really weird. Like
It's
everything
really weird.
brand new. That's
Dumbest motherfucker
alien.
alive, Jay. Fitzy
He's
straight
an
up says,
alien.
"No, I don't know these people's names and whatever," and then you're like, "Well, he knows everybody's names." Like you're
It's part of
patronizing.
the
You
whole
don't pay
deal.
attention to what people are saying, and
Good.
you come off like a dumb cunt, and that's why nobody wants to talk to you.
That's perfect. Don't you get that? Then they know who I am and how this works, and it's not fake. I'm not gonna come and put a pillow under everybody's butt just because they're on Meeting of the Minds so that we can get them back. The idea is they learn who we are, what we are. They look back at the episode that they picked to see what the hell they're doing, and they understand that it's always like that.
Okay.
You want to puff a pillow, you want to have tea ready for Fitz, you want to talk about all these funny little things with him, just be realistic about it. He's not an alien. He knows what he's getting into.
Hey,
this is why I don't like...
Post, please, because I need to generally ask you a question, and Jay's just going to talk over your answer. Did anything seem like it was out of this world, the questions that I was asking him?
I think one of the only things I said was you're a wild man on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just let him talk.
He is. A bunch of people thought he was a parody account.
Yeah, all
Killer
I do is
treats
like
him
I like his
as if he was
tweets.
like...
He seems like a crazy person. I wanted to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, it's
And-
kind of interesting. He played hockey with Tibbs. Like, there's a bunch of interesting stuff.
That's fine. That's not where I'm going. You treat him as if he's like an alien from
Hey,
outer
nobody
space.
knows what Discord is. Nobody cares that you were the king of Discord. You're
That's
stupid.
the point. That's the point.
That isn't the
You
point.
ruin it.
It's not fun
You-
doing a show or listening to you talk about
Then
nothing.
don't do it. Then don't do
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
Don't
I
do
wanted to
it.
have
You don't
Fitzy
have
on.
to be here.
You don't have to be
I
here
had
either.
Fitzy on.
Nobody wants
I had
you
Fitzy
here,
on.
Jay.
I had Fitzy booked way before you did. Way before, and I have receipts. I didn't need you for any of this.
No, you didn't have him booked. I had booked weeks ago. Doesn't matter, Jay.
Either way, you killed it by pretending this was an episode of Kirkinoff.
Yeah, sure, Jay.
That's
you're
what
always
this
right.
turned into. You turned that into this.
Yeah, whatever, Jay. Do your own little show, buddy. Nobody will watch. It's okay.
That will start in 16 minutes. If Post will have my,
You said we have a hard out.
because of a reason
Yeah,
that,
what's that reason, Jay?
oh, well, since Fatso's gone, we have a crisis There's a GV member in need. He's been in need of clothing for I bet like a month. Also, this is the biggest thing. This is what bothered me the most. Pat Lawrence is literally living on the street right now, and we're talking to fucking Minifans that I'm sorry, I just don't have the light of day for. Like, we're giving that guy respect after he went and licked Justin's butthole for an hour the other day. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Hit the post. This is the way it should be. So, back to what I was talking about. There's no point in talking to new Minifans. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna cancel all that. I would just rather not have guests if you're gonna treat them with teas and crumpets and pillows. Meeting of the Minds is a mud pit. Come on, you know you're getting in the mud pit. Sneakers has no say here. Hit the post, you'll learn. You want to kick people out of shows, go produce the hockey show. That's all that you're going to do here. That's great, Sneaks. I mean, it's not real. Killer likes how you bully him, how you beat him up, like Kirk would bully Curtis. So, like, keep doing that. That's going to be a great little shtick that you got picking on the producer. Because he doesn't pick the right clips, right? And he plays it when you talk, like you're about to talk, and then he plays the clip. Isn't that so funny? I get it. I get it. Great Tibbs talk. Great. Meeting of the Minds deserves better. Italy had a whole bunch of stuff to talk about regarding foreplay with Mr. Fitz, Mr. Fitzy. But no, Killer wants to massage his butt, tickle his nuts, and give him the tea and crumpets and the pillow. Killer's a Minifan fan like no other. We're talking about Callahan podcast and Craig and all these little people that have dibble-dabbled all around this show for the past 2 years. "500 episodes in, and we're pretending that we're buddy-buddy with Minifans." I guess that was the play there. Let's ask this guy all the questions that I can think of to see how he feels about Kirk. Did you ask him an opinion on Michael Montante? I'm glad we got that out of the way. There's no other reason to pretend. The extent of Craig on this show is Beetlejuice. Until you can find me a single source coffee guy. Cameo Blind Mike. You're the version of Killer for Blind Mike. Like, you're the Blind Mike stan, Killer's the Minifan stan. He just wants to be nice to people, and I understand that. And I think that Mr. Fitz will understand Mike Grape. His opinions only go so far. I don't really need to know his Kirkstory. His Kirkstory's not really important to me. Sneakers pretending he has control in places that he doesn't because he doesn't have control at home. Doesn't need to be here either. I don't miss John, but at least he knows what he's doing. I think Hit the Post is just nervous. We can end this, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. I just don't. I'm trying to avoid all topics. Would it be possible? I mean, this is Meeting of the Minds, and I should have something to do other than have my face on here. Like, can we get the foreplay pod up and maybe play like the last 10 minutes of it? There were so many quotes that Kevin Kisner had last night regarding gravity and air and mass, and I have all that coming up for you on Good versus Evil. I'm just gonna check with my guest, or my other guest, my second guest of the night. But show Good versus Evil coming up to you live in 9 minutes at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna go ahead and text. All right, so we have that message put out onto Insta World. I guess I lost my producer. Please don't do anything regarding like caring that I lost my producer. I'd rather not be here. In honor of the death of tonight's episode, I'm going to talk about last night. So we went to the foreplay pod. Me, Mr. Dever, Ms. Dever, and it was Crampville, Cramp City, Cramp Central, Cramp University. Tables on tables on tables on tables, and the tables like are as big as my butt. They're not very big. Everyone's sitting on top of each other. So sweaty. There was no. The joke of the night, said by Mrs. Dever, was that they were not turning on the ACs because there weren't enough people there. They only covered the bottom bowl. They did not fill the bottom bowl. Foreplay seems to be a pretty big podcast. I'm going to be really intrigued in how many Minute fans show up in a month. But the Wilbur is bigger than you think it is. But I do feel like, I don't know, the Lynn Auditorium is a lot bigger. I had more space when I was at the Lynn Auditorium. Maybe the Wilbur's older. But that's for another night, because Kirk already said, as the show went along, he, divulged that he was going to do a show. He told Kevin Kisner regarding Fred Couples, and I guess that's a lock, but we reported that yesterday, so I don't need to retake that. But I don't think that Mr. Minahan was quite impressed, was very impressed. Excuse me, VD. VD, if you'd like to join within the next 5 minutes, I wouldn't mind your opinion on last night. And then my interaction with Justin and Dave Cullinane, they both fisted me. I had a deep, dark question to ask Justin regarding Star Wars and watching episode 3, but that never got out of my mouth because it just seemed, the vibes when we met seemed to be high tension. I don't know what they think I'll do. I just said hi. Mrs. Dever was I think it was her intuition to just walk across the street and eat at the restaurant Nashville, which I was really impressed with the menu. too many things going on for me, sweet wise. We had fried dough, corn, all different. That was the one I ended up getting, which was great because it was like circus. I don't want to say circus, carnival style. Carnival style fried dough, no powdered sugar, but there was like an apple puree. I want to say maybe a peach puree that they laid in the middle of it. If you ever have the chance to put jelly or jam on your fried dough, don't sleep. That's probably the only reason fried dough was invented. It wasn't invented for butter and powdered sugar. Well, 5 minutes post. Oh, good. I'm still here. So I ended up getting fried dough, cornbread, and chicken tendies. I told Jason from Attleboro the whole thing I got. I'm not gonna go over it again. But in this morning, well, and then Dev gave me a dab that put me straight to sleep. It was a guava pie by Ganja Berry up in Maine. In honor of that dab, we will close this show out with 3 minutes of silence.
Overtime.
No. No. overtime. Can you play the countdown again? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Good versus Evil. We are here live to tape with Mr. Simon Senior Stoner. What's up, Simon?
Hey, what's happening? How are you, sir?
How's everything, man? I'm out here near Fenway Park, just watching the fans leave. I don't know what the score was, but there's not too many smiling faces going back, so I think they lost.
Well, I know Chris Bassett
The-
took care of the Brewers tonight. Pitched, I don't know if he got the complete game or not, but he got eight scoreless innings today.
Was it them that had the combined no hitter this earlier in the season? I know somebody had a combined no. It might have been.
Yeah,
All
five pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Kind of amazing.
No hitter was like, between Beltran, Cole, and the fact that he walked like 7 guys that night, and I mean,
when you walk in that many people, there's something wrong.
Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic, but I mean, if anybody was happier, it was Howie Rose. I mean, he was going batshit crazy that night.
Why do you say that?
That's one thing I missed. Well, he always, at the beginning of the Mets broadcast, he would always say, after the first hit was given up on the game, he would say, all right, this is now 6,000 games the Mets have played without a no-hitter. And the 601 games, he would say that every day. And so finally when Santana went, got his no-hitter, it was like, oh my God. But
it made sense.
Anyway, these allergies have been kicking my ass lately. Just kicking my ass.
I can hear it in your voice. I can fucking hear it, man.
Yeah.
So is these stuff that you dealt with before when you were living over here?
Well, in New Jersey, I only had allergies in like April and September. In Houston, I had allergies between April and September. I lived in Houston for 3 years. And
did you ever get tested with anything? You ever go to the doctor and ask, what the hell am I allergic to?
I've had that done, and it's always, the result is always the same, and it's always nothing. So, I mean, sorry, I just smoked a half a joint.
Oh, dude, I started cranking as soon as I saw it was showtime. I was waiting for you, so I'm freshly high right now.
Yeah, me too.
It's just better when you're stoned, man.
Pardon me.
Do you ever
coming on?
If Hit the Post is here, that would be amazing. I wouldn't mind posting the link. You can post the link on your Twitter and invite anybody you want.
Oh, I can.
But
I don't know how to do that.
You don't know how to copy and paste the link on your fucking Twitter feed? You're not that old. I'm kidding, but I mean, unless you don't want to talk to me for half an hour, we can shut this down and go and talk to other people.
That's fine with me.
I've been single for 2 years, so it's always easy for me to talk to just one person. It's like a date. It's like speed dating. You know what I mean?
I'm in the middle of a kind of a conundrum.
Okay, talk to me. What you got? Other than not the allergies.
And it's a female issue. We actually met on Twitter, and I know for sure, that she's a real person and all that, and not some guy from Ghana trying to scam me.
You think you're getting catfish, Simon?
And some guy tried back in February, but the more I'm on, honestly, the more I'm on Twitter, the more I can tell who's fake and who's real.
It's scary.
just by like their diction and how they type.
Yeah. No, it's probably always the same person. That's what's even worse.
Yeah, I know. And it got so bad that I had to change my phone number.
Simon, what are you doing? What's going on here?
I have nothing, dude. Nothing. I swear.
You better not be sending money to this fake woman.
No.
Okay.
But it gets to a point though where it happens so often. Like every time, you know how on Twitter, every time you follow a plug, you immediately get your inbox like is invaded.
Yep. We actually tweeted back and forth about that. I said that something in relation to like just ignore, they're all bots or something.
Yeah, and like I said, it gets easier to tell after a while, but it's just annoying. I mean, they all have the best this and the best that, and no, you don't. And fortunately,
as long as you learn, because my dad, I stay with my dad, all right, and he probably gets a good 10 to 15 phone calls a day, and none of them are real people. None of them. They're all just from him putting his phone number into an email one day, and like you said, everybody just hit mortgage, and you got a loan company, and none of them are real. There are no real people calling you.
Right.
And he still signs up though. He still finds a way to get involved and get on the list.
Well, you know what I do sometimes when I'm in a good mood. I like to fuck back with them, and I'm a big fan of the show Trailer Park Boys, and there's all kinds of dialogue in that show that can be used as dialogue, to like just fuck with a bot, and so I'll say something
from TV. I mean, I feel like in my later years, like the TV that I watch, I get lessons from. Like I try to take more from the show. Like I get really bored watching shows, but when I can actually take something from it and use it, it's like reading a book. Like I feel like I learned. I used to like watching Dr. House growing up. Remember that show, House?
Oh yeah. There's always some oddball weird disease that he was diagnosed.
And he like pulled it out of his butt every time. It was not. He never really needed a book or anything. Like, he always ended up knowing what it was. But
yeah, and he had the hots. He had the hots for his boss. He definitely had the hots for his boss. But he was.
I mean, didn't we all, Simon? Didn't we all? She was probably my first brunette. I believe I was sucked into the blonde world as a youngin', but she was the first brunette I truly. I liked her a lot, and I was young, like 11, 12. I was really young, but she got me into Jennifer Lopez, I believe it.
My crush when I was a kid was Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson, her name was, she's probably still alive. I hope.
You are.
But she was. Her show was called Police Woman, and she played the part of a cop, and she was a fucking hot blonde. I mean, just fucking hot.
The show was called Police Woman, and she played the cop?
Yeah, she
wow!
She was beautiful. Dude, she was beautiful. I mean, for like an 11, 12, 13-year-old kid, Angie Dickinson was the shit. What's up, dude?
What's up, BA?
Hey, man, my guy. Simon, my guy. Jay, why are you so loud? Why are you so loud, Jay? Did you make it?
That's post. This is all on post tonight. He's pretending to be the super producer that
I heard you're acting like a little baby back bitch to the guests. It's not the Jay show. You're being an asshole.
Yes, 100%.
He has been nothing but a gentleman. I must say.
No, Simon, that's what he
You
does.
weren't
When
here
you're
before, Simon.
when you're one-on-one with Jay, he's gonna be all like this, and then. But if he did the same shit to you when you came around. Fuck this Simon guy. Fuck. He said he's two-faced. He's two-faced. But Simon, I appreciate.
That wasn't on this show.
Appreciate-
I don't think that was on this
appreciate
show.
the-
I think that was on their show.
I appreciate.
Been on here before.
I appreciate all the. I appreciate Simon's a beauty. He's a great guy. I like that you got us in the you got the GV boys in the hashtag, Simon. So that's great.
Yeah, man.
He's still
Yeah,
waiting for
even though I still fully don't understand it, I'll tag the shit out of that motherfucker.
That's beautiful. You know, we are GV. I don't know. I don't think I even understand it, and I somehow birthed it.
GVE.
by the way.
I haven't gotten shirts yet. So
Why are you
I don't
acting
know
like
what
a?
the story
Oh,
is.
sorry. Go ahead, Simon.
I don't trust the post office around here.
Yeah.
They already lost a huge box of coffee that I ordered on Amazon that was sent USPS, and they lost it.
Callahan
Well, that's on
Coffee.
the post office then.
Who sent him a shirt, John?
Callahan
John
Coffee.
said-
But
I just got one of those shirts. I think that John sent you, so they could be. Depends on which one he got.
could
It. I
still
think
be-
they just started
yeah.
shipping.
They could still be in transit for all I know.
They
That's
take
okay.
they take a couple months.
They take over a month.
Yeah.
They literally make them to order, Simon. So I mean, what
grateful,
happened?
man.
What kind of
Oh, well,
coffee? Was
You
it
might
that
get a one shirt. They're like NFTs, kind of.
Was it expensive coffee that you lost?
Hey, I'll wear the fuck out of it.
Damn right. I hope it's in the mail. Our CFO John has been known to tell a few fibs.
Yeah, we caught him a whole show last night. Last night he said like 20
Few
lies.
fibs, and he loves funding
Because-
retards. That's
Because
his
I
other
wasn't here.
Jay, thanks, Killer, for reminding me. Why are you being a dick to Fitz?
If Fitz thinks I was being a dick, then he doesn't understand what I was doing.
I don't know if you.
I think-
I've heard from credible sources that you started complaining.
I let you
Trying to-
back in, and you said, "Okay, Fitz, we're done."
I hit,
Like,
sorry,
dude.
excuse me, 1 second,
He would've
Simon.
kept going.
We're gonna handle.
Oh, know why
this
Jay
is
doesn't
first,
like
but-
him? Because he was supposed to be Jay's replacement.
Stop,
See, this
stop,
is.
stop, stop, stop. No, you're
I
ruining
figured it out. No,
Fitz is getting too much shine. He's getting too much
didn't
shine.
like-
Anybody who gets shine, Jay hates. He hated Simon 3 weeks ago. Fitz got on. He hates Fitz. Then he's going to try to be Fitz's best friend.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the DMs being like, "Yeah, these guys are
You're
fucked."
getting this twisted. You're getting this twisted. You're making shit up right now. Killer was treating this as if it was an episode of Cracking Off. I
Who
wasn't doing
cares? But who
that.
cares?
Jay thinks he's a
I'll just
bigger
admit it.
Minifan than Fitz.
No,
Yeah.
I
Fitz is a 50-year-old man, but Jay somehow says he's been listening
Hey.
to the radio longer than Fitz.
I
Hey,
have
but-
receipts of me asking him on all yesterday.
Hey,
Yeah,
how,
I had him booked weeks ago, Jay.
I had him book a month ago.
Jay, how crazy was it? Do you think it's a coincidence that they did a meeting of the minds and then did the one, the only? That's pretty. That's two. That's two deep cuts. That's two deep cuts.
Cullinane is producing foreplay. They were looking for a producer.
The meeting of the minds thing I could see. The one, the only is a little bit. But
Especially when it's Kirk. Especially when it's Kirk.
yeah,
All
like
right, back to Simon. Simon's here for a reason. He's dying and he's trying to get some pussy and he's getting
Simon's getting some box.
no. He got fucked over. He's getting what do you call it? Catfish on Twitter.
Oh,
No.
we probably know who the guy is too.
No.
It's nothing like
It's
nothing like
probably
that.
one of us.
My
No one
pride
watches
is
this anymore.
that I'm just too gullible. You know, I'm too nice and I'm too
Post, why didn't you put it on my Twitter? Sorry.
And it's just how it is with
Sorry.
and
All right, Simon. Back to allergy talk.
Yeah, we got to get back
Okay.
to allergy talk. That's what
I mean, this is
Glamour.
Oh, so you can put it on my Twitter next time.
what?
Alright.
well,
We need allergy talk, and we need to know about what Jay ate after the Wilbur last night. That's what we had to. That's why we had to get
The food was amazing.
I would rather
That
hear
food was
about what
great.
Jay ate than talk about allergy talk right now.
Well, you and
I
Jay
wanna
should
know who
fucking
the client
DM
is.
each other and talk about not having jobs and about what you're eating.
We need to hear about Jay's potential
You guys should
client.
start a fucking social assistance chat together.
Fucking, it's him right here. He's suffering. He's a suffering old man right here.
Oh, Simon's your potential client?
Yes.
Oh, Simon, don't.
Oh,
don't
no.
do it.
I wanted to get this guy to able to breathe. You said you wanted to buy an AC so he could breathe better. I told him to buy some plants and get an air purifier. You know, you gotta hang some like
Simon, this guy you're taking advice from tried
He's
to
not
grow
taking
weed
advice.
once. He tried to grow weed once, and he got he bought a humidifier instead of a dehumidifier.
Oh, no.
And all the weed got mold, and you're gonna listen on ventilation advice from this guy? I don't think.
I mean, this guy's 45 and lives at home with his parents.
This thing lasted in the winter. You see any frost? Oh shit! Fuck! I just broke
Jay.
a branch.
What a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, either way, I did not want to break this one off.
Someone go with that.
we need to get Simon. Simon, so you didn't even see that, right? You didn't see that clip.
Wait,
I like when you say we need to get. We know you don't have money and you're expecting one of the rest of us to pay for
I'll
something.
be the first one to send him a laptop. as
Hey,
long
the
as
markets right
I don't
now.
think- Simon, do you have a
Bad.
laptop or a computer?
G-
Bad time
Alright,
to
just have my
TV
phone.
really needs to
cash
get
in
it.
your Bitcoin and go roaming the country in a van.
I mean, if you can get someone your address, I'd
Really
like to
bad
send
time.
you a laptop.
Can you believe every time one of these fucking guys went to go announce their van Bitcoin tour, the price dropped like so much?
It is true.
When Steve announced it, it went like half or whatever. And then this guy, Corrado, announced it, and that's fuck. These guys are they're memeing it down. Maybe they're memeing it down for the boys.
Is that what the joke is?
Yeah, you have to have money to understand money. That's part of the problem you're running into.
Tonight's the night of the strawberry full moon.
I might have to. Apparently, I could sell my Jeep for like because cars are so hard to get. I could
Probably
sell
you
my
get
Jeep.
quite a bit.
I could sell because it's a 2015. I have 85 clicks on it, 85,000 kilometers. I think the same amount I bought it for.
Cool guy BA calls them clicks.
These are expensive right
I
now.
would say kilometers.
Slow down, post.
I don't call it click. That's how like my mom calls it clicks.
Yeah.
It's looks like an
I just
army
think
thing.
people call it clicks, right?
I think that's just
No,
an
it's
army
like a kilometers thing, you dumb fuck.
thing. Yeah,
I
but
know.
you say
Kilometers.
When you're in the army. When you're a sniper, that's how you say I'm 2 clicks to the left.
Where's vodka?
That's clicks on the fucking scope stuff.
It's a great question. Where is Dr. Vodka? He
So
texted
dry.
me,
My
me
burn?
today. He texted
Yeah,
me
your
today.
burns
He's
are
all right.
rough.
I'm getting.
Oh yeah, look
You
at that.
burned,
You can see
you
it.
burned worse than I did.
Holy
Look
shit.
at that. That's so fucked. I look like I have different arms. Like I look like I'm like if I take my shirt off, I look like I have like 2 arms that were attached to me by a Native American.
Bionic BA.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it.
I got red, dude.
Did the Red Sox win?
So how about Montante? He still hasn't come on. Now that he went on KMS, he'll never come on this.
You're
and everything.
taking over my show.
You're not allowed to talk about Montante because it upsets
Oh,
you.
Jay, you're so loud before, and you're disrespecting people. You know, I could talk over you.
I was disrespecting Killer. Just
You were
Killer.
disrespecting Fitzy, Mr. Fitz.
Because you didn't get it.
Oh, but whenever there's a new guy to the crew, you can't
He just,
disrespect
that's
them.
his thing. He just says, "Oh, he doesn't get it." What's there to get, Jay? There's
Like,
nothing
you
to get.
Like, what are you getting? There's 5 guys talking online. That's like, and then Jay wants to do like, I call, what does he call fucking P? What does he call? Oh, he calls something weird, and everyone's gonna laugh. You know.
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
Jay
about.
tries to shoehorn in stupidity. Like Jay's just trying to get clips. That's all Jay does on here all night, and he sucks at it.
Yeah, you haven't got a clip in fucking. You haven't got a clip in a while, pal.
Warden,
not
stop
looking for
watching the show as a whole.
I won't do it. I know when he's trying to do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Warden,
I don't think
Ward,
I'm going to
is that why Warden's not trying? Because he realized Jay's trying to get clips now. It's not natural.
Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
You just have to be yourself and stop trying to like.
Jay's killed another shtick.
You killed the shtick of being yourself almost.
Yeah.
Ask Elvis.
You need another. You need another shtick. Maybe try a shtick of being a hard. Try to be a hard worker. Nice.
Can we get Simon a lady, please?
Jay, can you what? Do we look like
I
guys?
don't
and
know what I
ladies?
want at this point in time. I really don't.
You want a dude?
I'm still trying to get my shit together.
We gotta get you some honey. We gotta get you some wild honey.
Honestly, I would rather cook a girl a nice meal than anything else at this point in time.
Why don't you just go to Vegas, Simon?
That's too much pressure. Too much fucking pressure.
Hey, people with jobs don't just fly around the country. Like without jobs, don't fly all over the place going to buy hookers. I know you found a fucking money tree called white parents that have too much white guilt that keep paying for your existence, but that doesn't happen for everybody.
Yeah.
I guess.
Man, shit's getting fucked. Shit's getting expensive, man.
Gas is insane.
Luckily, drugs haven't went up.
I mean, you can't even get high anymore without, like, being afraid that it's cut with something.
Yeah.
Anything.
You see, Cooper Noriega got killed over some laced joints.
I saw this cool documentary about El Chapo the other night. That was really good.
Jay's dad was El Chapo.
My uncle. I'm not Mexican.
El Chapo wasn't. Oh, El Chapo.
Yep.
Never mind. What about it, Simon? What was cool about it? Or what was it called?
He wound up having his hands in everything. I mean, everything. Meth, heroin, coke, pills.
Diversified, eh?
Whatever.
A diverse portfolio.
They likened his operation to something like Amazon. The logistics and all that stuff. That's crazy shit. It was just fascinating. Sorry,
I bet you he would have got your shirts here by now.
Yeah. Well, he has a.
Oh yeah, he would have got the shirts there fast. And if the shirt was taking this long, he would have chopped heads, so to speak.
Well, I don't trust this.
Or chopped something.
They could fuck up a one-car funeral. They really could.
Was there a rice bucket today or yesterday?
No.
Yesterday.
Nice.
You've been avoiding the show since I've been producing.
No, but it's just been bad time, man. I got this burn yesterday. I'll probably. When's the next one?
Is this the BA burn show?
Thursday?
Thursday.
I'll be on. Because I'm not working, so I'll be on Thursday.
Great.
What Monday I couldn't. I know the last two ones. I think I had something.
Give us
He's
your
getting upset. You're talking about a different show.
My pick.
Give us your pick and a Conn Smythe.
Okay, Conn Smythe. Gabriel Landeskog. No, I can't do that. That'll be stupid. Conn Smythe. I'm gonna say Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
And Avs in 5.
Sports talk.
Wow.
Smart guy.
I think the Avs are gonna kill them. I think the Avs are gonna kill them. I don't know. I think. Oh no, sorry. Can I change it to Makar? Makar?
Fuck.
No.
Wow.
Makar, Avs in 5.
Everybody that picked the Avs picked Makar.
I think it's locked in.
I forgot because I think it would be Makar.
Am I the only Lightning guy?
Yeah.
They'll probably end up winning. Someone was saying it earlier. They're like Steve Stamkos is kind of like the Yzerman of our generation. Like he didn't win it till later, and then became like.
That's a good comparison. He wasn't an asshole like Yzerman though.
Yeah, but he's like now. Apparently now he's like he's fighting and shit. Like before, he was just like Ovechkin, or kind of like he just had that one shot from the point. Now he's a pure lead. Like you need that shit. You need your captain to be fighting. Like Tavares doesn't do shit like that.
No.
Tavares is a bum.
I think Landeskog fought 8 times this year at least.
Landeskog's sick. Landeskog literally married a distant cousin of BA.
Really?
Very distant.
Simon, you a hockey fan?
No.
Me? No, sadly.
Oh, the other Simon we got on here.
I feel like dying.
Yeah, go ahead, please. It's floor's yours.
Go ahead.
I do know who Nathan McKinnon is.
Oh.
You are in Colorado, aren't you, Simon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, so must be is it a buzz for the Avalanche right now?
You know, I don't really watch the news that often, to be honest.
How about just in the just in the when you're out and about? When you're out and about, it's like you're at the grocery store. Like, you see those Avalanche?
My neighbors are big Broncos Avalanche people, and I can always talk to him about it. But I don't know from hockey, for a long time. I used to watch Bobby Orr play, but
so did Jay. Jay watched him too.
You and Jay are around the same age, I think.
I did used to like the Boston Bruins when I was a kid.
Who was your favorite? Were you just a Fedor guy? Or
Jay loved Phil Esposito.
Well, there's Hal too. No,
on the Bruins, strictly Bruins.
Who was the guy?
Jay was a big Aki Berg fan.
In recent years, he was number 16. I forget his name.
They actually call him. They actually called Jay, Simon. They actually called Jay the Aki Berg of GVE.
What was his name?
That's true.
God damn it! This is
always something on the first defensive pairing, which sucks. Yeah.
Just football and baseball for me.
Football and baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the guy that got picked like first overall, but then
Rick Middleton.
But then he went to go live in a compound? Is it Rick Middleton?
Rick Middleton.
Jay is like the Rick Middleton, but he needs to go live in his compound now. Like he didn't make it. So you gotta disappear, go on hiatus.
These guys want nothing to do with me. They just want me to go to like a monastery and be gone for 3 years.
I'm saying like maybe. I'm saying 1 month.
I just would like you to be a functional part of society.
I think you need 1 month off. I really do. You're always available, dude. You're always available. I'm confused. I think you just need a month off. I guess the bet you kind of took 2 weeks off.
Marco Stern.
Simon. How do we wake up every day? Like, how do you and I manage to wake up?
The American taxpayer is pretty sad that you both do.
Well, honestly,
Derek Sanderson.
If I don't quit doing all that other nonsense,
yeah,
how I wake up every day,
yeah,
I'm grateful. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think you really have a choice. I think your body just makes you.
I think I know what that video was.
No, there's
sometimes there was ice.
GFA.
Sometimes what, Simon? You don't want to wake up? What?
Is this the depression? Did Simon just go kill himself?
He just dropped.
I think he said he doesn't want to wake up anymore.
Well, this turned into fucking depression hour with Jay.
I love it.
That's
Jay, but it's not funny.
That's my fault, Jay.
Yeah,
I brought up a potential client. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was him.
Yeah, but now we're fucking ruining this poor guy. This guy is like.
Well, I thought VD was messing around and he sent it to Simon. I didn't know that you had sent it to him.
No, man. He asked me to chat earlier, and I was like, just come on the show.
That wasn't fun at all.
Excuse you?
That's not fun at all.
What's not fun?
If you want to have fun, go listen to Very Good Show.
What's not fun?
He's not
Me
fucking
being
shitting on Simon, really. Like,
I'm not shitting
Are you
on him.
shitting
I'm
on
just trying to
Simon,
talk
Jay?
to him.
no, you're fucking trying to twist his brain with all your dumb shit.
Jay, you're dumb.
He said he has allergies and he's got like a lisp and stuff. Like,
See, you don't usually try to make a lisp sound if you're not trying to make fun of somebody with a lisp.
Okay, we got some listeners submitted, so.
You know, here at the 420 show, we're always, trying out new things. I figured this week we would go with like current event. Mine, it's a fucked up one. All right, this guy's out fishing, catches a catfish, 20 fucking pounds, goes home to cook the fucking thing. Slices the stomach, a fucking dildo pops out. What the fuck? That's not even the worst of it. I remember seeing a video of BA in a boat with a fucking, like, I don't know, like a chain with a bunch of fucking dildos hanging from him. He was like, so many dildos, not enough time. And he was in the fucking lake. And I am wondering if that asshole didn't just toss them after he used them.
Well, and then there's two more things. So then we got to show this.
See, and Jay's upset by this.
Oh,
too.
look. See this? And then he said, I have to show. Oh, no.
Here.
He's back.
So many dildos, not enough time. So many dildos, not enough time.
That's bad evidence.
Simon's back. We were worried about you, man.
Yeah, Simon, I was worried. I was worried Jay made you fucking want to do yourself in.
No, it was my neighbor needing to borrow some eggs.
Wow.
How many eggs?
I don't know. I gave her like 6 of them. I get eggs. I have like 4 dozen eggs in my refrigerator. Most of the time. This is one thing I have is eggs.
Why do you have so many eggs?
I don't know. I just fucking my friend's ex-wife works at Carl's Jr. and she gets eggs from there, and so I never buy eggs ever. It's cool, actually.
It's a sick hookup.
What's wrong with Jay?
He's a retard.
You okay,
You just keep enabling him.
He keeps leaving.
Like I might have to sign with Menners. I'm looking at free agency right now.
You should go there, but you should like. Who are you propositioned by?
Menners. Yeah, we might sign with Menners.
But can you then somehow twist it that GVE? It's GVE
No.
then.
No, I would never do anything to jeopardize hit the rice bucket.
No, but on Menners, you do a Menners, and then you just start saying, yeah, but what you take it over, do hostile takeover.
Nope,
No,
I wouldn't do a hostile takeover. You and John you can keep Jay, I'll take Menners, and we'll all be happy.
I thought about counter offering him. He wanted me to replace his intern. I would have told him like I need.
Jay's doing like Kelleher stuff right now.
Yeah,
and Kelleher was better at it.
Yeah, Jay's turned into Kelleher really.
It's mean.
Is Jay gonna be the Kelleher? Like no, but I mean like the Kelleher of like Kelleher was the KMS. Is Jay gonna be our Kelleher where we're gonna say, oh, we have to completely cut him off? You know?
No, because John will always keep him coming back. That's the problem. John's gonna go against the trade always.
Oh, look, that pissed him off. You're acting like Kelleher, eh?
Don't call me that guy. He's scared of me too.
You are acting like him. You're acting like him.
Remember?
You just came in laughing.
Simon. So once upon a time, you know how we all listen to that? Can I speak? Post?
No.
He keeps leaving.
Like can we bring Willie G in for a week and then Jay for a week? They can just rotate weeks.
I think Jay needs a month off. Maybe we give him we suspend him.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Jay.
Like Content Sneaks has been out producing content. He's already done with Jay. He said he won't come back on until
Killer,
Jay's
who
gone.
invited you on my show tonight?
It's nothing.
I think
yours, Jay.
I think Jay needs to do complete. Like he has to start his own YouTube.
Who invited Killer on my show tonight?
It's Killer's show. It's just as much as yours.
Yep.
If you think about it, GVE owns more majority rights.
That's right.
Not this power.
No, they do. What are you talking about? We have the majority share. We own everything.
GVE owns the fucking StreamYard.
It's GVE. No, but I'm saying even me and the Minds. And me at Good versus Evil is underneath Meeting of the Minds.
Meeting of the Minds might end at 10.
No, it didn't. This is all.
Here we go. Here we go. Baby J. Baby J. Little Baby J.
But Good versus Evil is a.
Sure, I'm being told to keep it down at this point. My mom's going to sleep. This has been overtime.
Good at the job. I like.
That's when Jay used to be funny.
Yeah, that's when Jay. I don't know. Jay's like is the world, or no one's against him right now. It's like it's such a weird thing. No one's against him, but Jay versus the world, and then that makes people against him.
You've kicked me out 4 times, and you keep saying I leave on my own.
I was just making a joke.
We'd be okay with you leaving on your own, though.
He left again. What's going on? Simon keeps leaving. Jay, why keep leaving? That's weird. Is Jay fake laughing? Huh? I'm spent all the time waiting for that sentence. Well, Simon, do you think Jay's frozen, or is he just doing something?
It's been
3D.
I think we might have to. I'm gonna leave actually.
All right, see you later. Bye, Killer. Have a nice night.
Are you sticking around, Jay?
Yep.
All right. You just get the post. Thanks for everything. What?
Yeah, I have 2 points. John's lying last night was profuse. He doesn't need to keep lying.
Lying about what? What do you lie about?
He said some really interesting things last night, and I'm glad he didn't show up today. But he seems to think that he was the reason why
he's working.
Come on here. He seems to think that he has a lot of.
Why can't you say he seems to think he is the reason the dude didn't come on?
He put himself into a lot of positions that.
Can you name one of them?
That started here.
But can you name one of them?
That one was big. He said that he was the guy that said no to the do.
I think he did say no. I think I said yes. You were like pod for pod.
Hey, BA, we were talking about now that Montante's big shot now.
Yeah.
We should dig up some dirt on him.
Oh, we probably have.
And I already had some ready to go. Speaking of Nadeau, here's Montante talking about one of his friends.
All right.
I didn't realize that he was boys with Josh, and I did a quick Twitter search. They flirt often online.
Wow, that was from a while ago, eh? You were on. What show was that on? It was me, you, VD, and.
That might have been.
Was that the college football one?
No idea. No, that looked like Meeting of the Minds.
Was that November? Maybe that was November 5th.
Yeah, that was November 5th.
Because it was me and you pretty much all November 5th. Maybe Jay too.
Yep, whole episode.
But Post was there for the beginning.
All right. Good day. We'll talk to John on Thursday.
What would you say? I don't get what you're saying. What else did he take credit for? Which he does. I would give him a lot of credit on a lot of things too. So
he just wasn't always around for certain things, and he just
like what?
There. That was the big thing.
Okay, well, name another one. That one, I actually do think he said something like, "Oh fuck, I would have mind. We just had Frank the Tank" or something. He said something like that.
I don't know. I think he probably said that because I was already against it, but maybe not. Maybe he made his own decision.
I don't know. Okay, but what's another one? You say he's telling all these lies. What's the next one?
I need to rewatch. I watched Meeting of the Minds last night, and I kept saying, like, John, like, what are you saying, dude? Like, and that was the one that stuck out the most. But there were other parts where he just inserted himself, and it was just like, John, like, you weren't there. You just remember it. You remember the story, but you weren't like, and it's just. It seems like that reminds me of the Bible so much because it's like a big long game of telephone where John's gonna be a part of some of these, like all these people. Oh, he said something about Adam the Jew. Stop.
Simon's baked, eh?
Simon, I'm sorry. We're just talking Minifans stuff.
I'm following along as best I can, okay?
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I don't really even know what he's talking about right now, Simon, either. He said, what about Adam the Jew?
That he's not a
I don't know,
fighter. He was calling him out for not knowing how to fight in the mud. He said that he's not a fighter, and he was just talking.
He's not
shit
really
about
he's not really a shit
not at
talker,
all.
though.
But it's just funny to hear John put someone down and talk shit about him, and like just
Was
because
that really-
he had Montante on.
Okay.
All right, have a nice night.
Montante, I think Montante needs to come on Me in the Minds with Sneakers.
I don't know what the deal with Rob Downey is.
We should get Phil, Sneaks, Montante. Should have a big Royal Rumble. Fez.
Yeah, I mean you can do
Yeah,
that.
we should do a Royal Rumble. We should do that. The gambling chat versus GVE.
I'm not allowed on that show.
No, you're definitely not.
Okay.
It would be too much for you. There'd be too many people taking the shine. You don't let anyone.
Josh Waterhammer and Phil the other day. They were both calling me poor, the same way that Sneaks has for 2 years, saying that I get a check.
You did probably. What was the other thing you want to know about the cottage?
Yeah,
cottage was good. It wasn't too crazy. We ate a lot.
John called it a cabin. And
It's like a little bit of a cabin, yeah. And it's a cabin with an addition. If you think about it.
Yeah, but don't you call it like we're going to the cottage?
Yeah, because there's like a lake and a dock and stuff.
Yeah, and we call it camp up in our neck of the woods.
But the place had like 7. Could sleep like 10 people.
Yeah.
Like it has there's a log cabin, and then they built 2 additions, like where all the beds are.
I appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have invited you, I don't think. It's like me and my boys from just me and my boys from like elementary school. It was a tight crew. Maybe I'd invite Post.
Sounds really tight. How tight? Looser than normal, or have things opened up?
We didn't.
Now, if I know what you're eating, I'm not gonna eat your ass anymore.
Oh.
Once upon a time, Simon, before Barstool Riser leaves, he's the man of legends where he accidentally went in the wrong hole once upon a time, and the lady didn't complain.
Yeah, it was quite crazy. Crazy time, Simon.
In his mouth. But thank you.
We were reminiscing, actually. We were reminiscing about a lot of stories.
Did that come up?
That one did. That one came up.
I heard that when I was married.
Did you have dominoes in your hand?
No.
Okay.
When I started to thrust, she didn't like that. I thrusted once deep down, and when I was thrusting, I was trying to flick the beans.
Please excuse me.
All right, see you, boys. I'll see you I'm not gonna be on tomorrow, but Thursday. Sure. Peace, boys.
Thursday, hit the rice bucket.
Thursday, rice bucket.
Be good, BA.
Fuck you, Jay.
Simon, is it bedtime yet?
Hell no.
No? What time's bedtime for you?
Whenever I go to bed.
Oh, so you don't even have a set time. You just fucking knock out.
No, it's whenever I fall asleep, basically.
So
And that's
last night you just like watch something on TV and just fall asleep?
Well, I've been getting into watching Trailer Park Boys on the Kindle. I have a Kindle, and that a friend of mine sent me, and I watch the match. I watch, different things, and I ran out of my nighttime medicine about a week ago, and I can't afford
Would you
to
care
get it.
sharing that?
What? I take
whatever you would take.
Seroquel. I take Seroquel for sleep. Yeah, and it's only 100 milligrams. It's not that high of a dose, but it works enough
Less
for
is
me
more.
to get about.
In my opinion, less is more.
Yeah.
In my horrible opinion, I think that when people take less, it's almost like your body's thirsting for it. So like it works almost stronger.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
I take my mood stabilizer as Abilify. And
I recall that you said that once upon a time on the 420 show with those guys.
Yeah.
And that word scares the fuck out of me.
Well, I'll tell you what happened was it worked for a while, for a couple of years, and it kept my anxiety down and whatnot. And all of a sudden, last 6 months or so, I started getting different symptoms. And one of them is
fun ones? Any fun ones? Any ones that I might be jealous of?
Well, one of them is uncontrollable drooling. And it's like
I bet you the ladies love that.
It's it's real throat. And swollen
Have you
tongue.
been diagnosed with any like palsy or any of that crap?
No, just had an MRI of my brain done, and that result was negative.
What do they look for when they MRI your brain? Like, are they looking for like traumatic brain injuries?
Signs of a stroke, perhaps. Could have been when I was using heroin. Could have not.
Would you be able to line up? Can I ask? Would you be inclined to line up a test of other sorts?
Well, I mean, as long as my insurance pays for it, what the fuck? I mean,
yeah. I don't know what you would have to do. I mean, this is what my problem is. I have a dad that's scared of finding out what's wrong with him. You seem to want to know.
Well, yeah, it's I'm 62. I'm not getting any younger, and
you're not that old. My dad's 10 years older than you, and I feel like he's on the edge every fucking day because he misses smoking cigarettes. So I feel your pain in a sense because I mean he's practically a heroin addict. You know what I mean? Like he's thinking about cigarettes every second, and I think it's been 2 months since he smoked. It's been a good 2 months.
Well,
we never saw that happening, Simon. Nobody ever saw. Like you said, you were actually like a real drug addict. Like it's hard to see the end of the tunnel, without a black screen.
Well, I understand where you're coming from.
And the fact that he hasn't smoked a cigarette in 2 months, it's like nobody saw that happening without like one in his mouth at his funeral. Like it's amazing to me.
Has he tried vaping or anything like that?
No, he's done. Like he drinks water now. Like he doesn't even really he doesn't think about it until like we get him on edge. Like it takes like a lot of extra angst to get him to go after cigarettes, and nobody ever. Unfortunately, he did snap on Saturday. Like he had a fucking like Tourette moment. Like I can't fucking like It was really
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
funny because it was overblown. Like he knew it because he got in the back of the car and he just stayed quiet after that because it scared him.
Yeah.
It scared him, but he's like,
It really
know,
does fuck
you
with you, Jay. You know, it
dude,
does
you
fuck
don't,
with you.
you don't. I don't believe it. But I mean, the only time I've ever been like that is when I'm like blackout drunk and I'm not there. But people tell me stories of like, dude, like, because also I would chain smoke, and that's the only time I ever smoked cigarettes. But like, I would always want more. Like, I'd go through a good half a pack in the night if I was drinking till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And you just want more. And
well, it's addictive. It's fucking addictive, man. You know.
You know, in my research, there's like the amount of nicotine in a cigarette is so minute. And this is what I'm saying about drugs. Like with your 100 milligram little you tried to give me a few minutes ago, it's a little bit. I don't. If you're look at how bad people want cigarettes.
Right.
And that's because there's only so much in there. There's micrograms of nicotine.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
it's
getting
all
much.
It's all the other poison that tobacco companies put
That
in
kills you.
cigarettes.
Oh, you fucking aim. And the paper, the yellow paper, dude. We have a house that's stained. Our whole house is stained with like Marlboro. You know what I'm saying? Like all around the wallpaper and such, the ceilings and shit. It's all from him just puffing chain smoke. I don't know how I don't have asthma, and like I do now. I understand all this stuff. I just can't fucking explain it. I have something typed out here to you that I didn't send you because I didn't want you to get all confused. Not that you're not a genius, but like I don't know how to make sense to people. But like we've made this body thing so complicated because we think that doctors know more than we can handle. And I think that like just by going through COVID and trying to understand why my 14-year-old nephew hasn't talked in 14 years, I want to learn more. I want to know what happened to me. I want to know what's wrong with my head. I want to know, like, when I've been in past and cared about people, why I've told them to die and such. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've been to the end, and I think you're at 62 thinking, like, why am I so fucked up? I was there, like,
it's
like
the one thing that if I took anything from AA for 20 years that I went is that I have to remember where I came from. And it's about it's all about self-forgiveness. Because if we can't forgive ourselves, you know, it starts with us.
Well, how big of an asshole are you, Simon? You know?
I had to learn how to own my shit and deal with it and move on. I still fuck up a lot, like a lot, and sometimes, like, I had a therapist ask me one time. She goes, why did you do that? And I said, because it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I'm not one of those people that can trust my own instincts because they're always bad. And so I have to learn to do the opposite of what I initially
what makes you think your instincts are bad? Because you've had bad luck?
Well, yeah, and you know, I gotta stop being so.
Do you think your instincts were always drug infused, Simon?
No.
I would say they have to be because aren't you on medication? And haven't you always been?
Well, I probably started taking medicine in 2004 when I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult.
What was that, Abilify?
And no, they tried to give me something called Strattera, was the name of the drug, and it was like a poor man's version of Adderall. Like, it's one of these, works like Adderall but doesn't do shit. And it made me, I didn't like the way I felt, so they're like, all right, well, lower the dose. Still didn't like the way I felt. And in the meantime,
like I said, lowering the dose is fucking scary, man.
Well,
I hate how people think. I hate how people think lowering the dose is better in a sense, because then you're starving your body for that information you just put into it. If you put a lot,
like you just said, you want more, and so it got to a point where, off and on, I went to therapy and tried to take whatever medication they prescribed me, and it still wasn't, my poor ex-wife. I mean, what I put her through.
But she was trying to help you in a sense, like. I guess,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. I mean, you were doing what you could. This is where I'm at, Simon, and this is my problem, is that even with like the school shootings and all that lately, we're all in these situations because we've kind of been led to think that we're doing what we can, like, to get
we're
better.
not. Absolutely, we're not.
That, especially, and I don't know if you enjoyed your time at AA. But it took me maybe a year of AA stuff to, like, I think I don't remember me not drinking before an AA meeting. And I wasn't at AA to be AA. I was at AA because I got a DUI. But you have to keep going, and like just looking around and watching everybody else drink. And then the Jesus aspect was there.
Oh God.
Do not get me started on that. But
Jay, let me tell you something about myself.
Please.
I am a failed recovering Catholic, and I don't believe in religion anymore.
I wish I. You have a Kindle. You have a Kindle. If you have a Kindle, I have a book that I want to jam down your throat after. But go ahead.
Okay, sure. It took me a long time to get out of that control. And
was that the 70s living in you, or what?
No, I think my ex-wife helped me a lot with that stuff. Like, she's like,
but she had prescriptions? Was she a nurse?
No. She had a lot of the same, like, if I were to pick a religion that I would follow now, it would probably be Unitarian, I think.
What's that?
I've
never heard
of it. Unitarians are like the mutts of religion. Ex-Jews, ex-Catholics, ex-Protestants, ex-Presbyterians, you name it, and been there, done that. They even have like a pagan group that meets there on like
have
Friday
you ever
nights.
Heard of the Reptilians?
No.
All right. Well, there's like a whole cult of reptilian followers. They feel like there's aliens living amongst us that are like lizards in human skin. Mostly the rich, but yeah, I don't want to. That is actually why we're here, because I was watching a TV show and a podcast, listening to a podcast regarding a reptilian cult leader. And then I wanted to start doing my own hour, because we would do the hour before this. So I really I was inspired because this lady, her name was Sherry Shriner, and she's the leader of the cult, the reptilian cult. I think she knew that she was dying from lung cancer. I think she got like a diagnosis, and I want to say the doctor's like, just do something, stay busy with your life, like keep things like entertaining, and she just started like remembering everything about the Bible that she was taught her whole life, and just kind of, because again, I'm not gonna get into history and anything like that. We're here for you today, but the Bible is coded. There's certain Bibles that we are accustomed to that were not written by people, but they were like translated.
Most people that I know King James. You know,
all right. So the King James Bible was translated by a man named John Dee. You ever hear of John Dee?
I probably, you know,
he was Queen Elizabeth's astrologist, more or less. He was the original 007. That's cool. Like he pawned that. I guess she like named her the head of security, but he was just an astrologist. Like he was all about astrology and all that crap. And he started predicting things, and I guess it was Elizabeth versus Victoria back in that day. I think I'm guessing. I don't remember. I'm not. But yeah. And he predicted the other one's death, and she died that day. And Elizabeth like took him under her wing, and in the end, he was kind of like you said, pagan and whatnot earlier. So like when he wrote the Bible, the way he wrote it, he was definitely high. He was on something. And there's like the way people see it now, like to you and me, we read it and we're just like, this is nuts. Like what we read it and it's like not regular English. You know what I mean? It's like all like poetic and whatnot. Like the people that are high on whatever the fuck he was on, they can see past that. Like that's just what I'm saying about this lady Sherry Shriner. Is like when she would read it, she would almost see what he was saying subliminally.
Right. You gotta understand something. When I was a kid, it was the 60s, okay? And you did not question anything. Anything.
And this is what I feel bad about my parents, man. I feel that I'm with them every day, and that's the world that you grew up in. Like that when I had a permanent record when I was a kid, Simon. Right? Like we all believed that we had a permanent record. Go ahead. Sorry.
When they said to me, you know, who made you? God made you. Wait a minute. What did my parents have to do with this? And it's immediate questions. And you know, I could probably do a stand-up comedy bit on being raised Catholic in the 60s.
Dude, you know? I would love to do like 5 and 5 with you. Because there's so many stories. Like I cried my way out of CCD. I cried my way. My mom was like a teacher for the pre-K kids. I was like I made it all the way to 3rd grade in CCD because I wasn't a student at the private school, but we would just go on Wednesdays, like you know.
Please,
and
believe me, you didn't have shit because you didn't have Sister Mary Ellen. You know,
my
Sister
dad
Mary
gives me
Ellen
those
was
stupid stories. It's probably the same fucking nun.
You ever see the Blues Brothers with the scene with the nun in the orphanage?
No, I've never seen much with it, but I've heard stories.
The nun with the ruler. Oh my God! But they were all torture experts. You know, I got taught by brothers in high school. These guys take a kid. No. They weren't priests. They were brothers.
Okay. That's interesting to me. I didn't know that they were brothers in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
I didn't know they allowed them.
Brothers of the Sacred Heart, they were called. And these guys kicked the shit out of kids. I mean, the shit out of them. And no wonder
I love this
the whole time in high school.
You did?
I did acid almost. Oh god. I think my junior year, I probably tripped about 20 times.
On acid or what?
And that's just in school alone.
On what? What were you tripping on?
Acid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a guy this morning, all right, and he was not. He seemed in dire need actually, and luckily I had a hot coffee and a Danish that I donated to him. But he was wearing like a blanket, and he had his hair. His hair was all disheveled all over his head, and he was my age. He was really young. I don't know if he's a holdover from college and maybe got kicked out of his dorm or something, but it did not look great. He didn't look like an addict. He just looked like he hadn't slept and had whatever. Yeah. It was right outside of a college, but whatever. The point is, he said something to me about acid, or his shirt said acid on it, and I was like, "You want a coffee and a Danish, man?" And he's like, "Dude, I'm just trying to walk down to the mall and maybe get some other breakfast, but if you have that, I don't have to do all that." And I was like, "But first acid." And then he left me, and he was like, "You know what, man? This Danish and coffee, but first acid." And it just hit. Like, I've never done acid in my life, but he seemed to be really comfortable with the but first acid play.
Once you learn how to let go, when you do acid, and you let it take over that part of your brain that you never use, and
don't do that. Don't do that. You always use all your brain, but we'll get to that later.
It's the most awesome feeling in the fucking world. I mean,
when's the last time you took acid?
Oh, when I was in Houston, maybe within a year.
And what happened? What was your experience?
I've done mushrooms since, and those are fun.
The thing with mushrooms, the thing with all drugs, even cannabis, is that the concentration levels of the actual, the stuff that you are getting high on, you never really can tell. You never really know. Like this, in my recent reading, there's like 100 different mushrooms that have psilocybin in it. But there are like 3 or 4 that have like 80 to 90% concentration levels of psilocybin. So like if you can find those, you don't even need any. You know what I mean?
This guy I know that one of the friends I made here in town. Okay. His degree is in something having to do with plants. I'm not sure exactly what it is. And he knows everything from pH levels to this and that and whatnot, right? Okay. He grows his own mushrooms. And
that's a thing now.
He had one that was 22 grams and big.
Did you try it?
No, this was before I met him.
Okay.
But he said to me, "I can teach you whatever you want to know, and with this light that I just got in the mail. Let me show you.
Please. I would love to start getting you on some grow or something like that, man. You need a plant to take care of.
Hold on.
We need to get you some English ivy or something over there. Some air plants.
That's kind of.
Oh, baby. Dude, what are you gonna do? Where are you gonna put it?
My friend just bought a house.
Yeah.
Here, right down the street from me, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna use his spare bedroom.
That a boy. So you got a whole room.
Never have to worry about it again.
Okay. All right. Is he gonna give you a key? You better get a key.
He'll take pictures, and I'll post the progress of it. And I'll head over and do whatever horticulture I could do. But Jay, I have 0 green thumb. 0.
You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it, man.
I'm fortunate that it's a weed. And oh, you know what else I got?
What?
Check this shit out.
Talk to me. Show me that. What's that?
That is
like a connector to put on your blunts.
No, 3 seeds.
Oh, those are seeds.
Yeah. Allegedly feminized seeds.
You can get started real quick, man. You can get real started real. I'm gonna be real quiet about this. I'm only gonna tell you, and I haven't told anybody about this. But my 2 plants that supposedly died a couple months ago, they're doing great. They're doing great. My 2 plants are doing great, and nobody knows. I've been hiding them for 2 months. But what happened was like the first time I ever grew cannabis was last year, and nobody had hope, and I didn't have hope. And then when I started doing it, I realized how dumb people are like you and think that it's so impossible because, like you said, it doesn't want to die. So like what I realized is like the way I was growing it, like it should have been dead. Like it had mold, it had this, it went inside, it went outside, it had no light, it then had a real grow light. Then I was just using like a tabletop lamp, and it still lived the whole time. It lived, all right. So I was like, you know what? I went to Mississippi a couple months ago with the boys, with Chris and Pat, and another one of my buddies, actually, the guy I talked about earlier. But I didn't really take care of them. I kind of dried them out that weekend, and was like, I watered them before I left, and that's all they were gonna get. And if they lived when I got back, they lived when I got back. And it took like a week to really get them to come back to life.
No shit.
But they greened back up, man. They greened back up. But you gotta stress these fucking plants out. If you want good weed, you gotta make these genetics prove that they're gonna come like and be strong. Like that's the only way you can make good weed.
Well, I told my friend that I would be willing to go in on topsoil, on nutrients, on whatever needs to be gotten. You know,
I'm never gonna suggest anything because I am not ever gonna be certified in that world because they go to school and stuff like that, and I don't believe in that stuff. I want to learn like the Indians did, you know, like. But the number one thing is save your chicken bones, save your fucking vegetables that you're like anything that is organic and you can compost and you can stick in the ground or in your soil is gonna help your plants in the long run. And that's where I want to start people. Like I want regenerative, like I want to stop wasting shit.
Right.
Like a tree fell down in my backyard over the weekend. And my dad's like, oh, we're going to call the tree guy and he's going to come and get the tree. I went and I got the fucking, like, the big, like, long stick saw thing that you can go up and, like, chop branches off if you have the heart. Yeah, I just took the saw part off and I started chopping off branches, branch by branch by branch. And I'm like, I was so high half the time anyway. I'm like amazed. I'm like, look at the fungus growing on the mushroom, on the back of the tree, and like, look at the termites that they're crawling up, and I'm like, I'm wondering, I'm like picking the tree apart, wondering like, why is there no bark and like. But you gotta do like that getting your hands in there and breathing that bullshit of fungus that just ripped this tree off your fucking big ass tree. Like it's part of nature. It's part of learning all this stuff. And I don't like the religion aspect because they're the people that started making us think that plants were bad.
Yeah.
The Eucharist in general is a potion. It's a plant potion, the Eucharist. You get what I mean? Like these things started from plants in the beginning. Like the book that I'm reading is called The Immortality Key, and it was like a bestseller last year or the year before. And all it is just it's putting religion in like a small idea that we all just followed Jesus because they had the best drugs. the Greeks always had the best formula to get as high as you possibly could, and that was God. That was God. Like God was when you could die, take a potion for a couple days, go to sleep, and for some reason you woke up, or you didn't, or you didn't. And if you didn't, you went to the afterlife. And if you did, you had a story to fucking tell.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys got good at it, man. These guys got really good at it. And then I think that, especially with stuff like poppy, when they realized how strong these drugs were, how strong these flowers were, they didn't like. There's one flower that I'm really, really into, and it's the blue lotus flower, and also the moon flower. You ever hear of morning glory?
No.
All right, they're just like a simple 5-petal white flower, but they bloom at night, and they have extremely high levels of dimethyltryptamine in the seeds. And DMT is everything everybody has ever wanted. That's what you're talking about with me with the LSD. And like, I think if every like politician, this is something Graham Hancock, a guy that I follow very closely, he's a guy that's trying to change the outlook on history in the world. He's one of the few people back like 20-25 years ago realized that the Sphinx was about 10,000 years older than it actually was being told to be. And I've been really into his research lately, and the guy has done so many ayahuasca trips and seen so many weird visions and stuff like that. He got to the point where he just started realizing that cavemen were just having really strong fucking trip outs, and they just got good at telling stories. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if Zeus was real, Simon. I wouldn't be surprised if all this religion crap was real at one point. But I think that like earlier when I was talking about yesterday, I was not on my on this all night really. I was only on for like a half an hour. But when your buddies are on a show that you're always on and you're not there, even if like you leave a party, right, and your buddies are at the party, the story that like their story gets a little more exciting when you're not around. Don't you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So like I that's my biggest problem with the Bible in general, is that like Jesus doesn't even know that there is a Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even thinking about writing a book. He was just trying to be a fucking guy to help people. Like this guy was he that's all. He was just trying to help people. He was Mother Teresa of his time. And he got really into making a potion. He got really into making the bread and the wine, the blood and the bread, right? He was the genius that figured out that people were getting drunk on the wine and dying. So he added the bread. I think people stopped dying. And by adding the bread, for some reason, people in this era, when we hear the word mold, we freak out. We go crazy. We go absolutely mold, icky, yucky. Yeah. You ever drink wine?
Oh yeah.
Wine is made with every grape that's not sold in a package because it has mold on it. Like, they want those grapes to make wine. They make better flavors from yucky grapes. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
And that's every fruit under the sun. That's not just grapes. That's every fruit. That's all. Like, if you have like banana puree in your little apple dapple container, whatever it is for your baby food, it's not the fucking prime organic bananas that are on the rack that they're putting in that container. Like, it's the leftovers that aren't, you know, like,
yeah.
So, that's how everything works. But mold, like, these are other things like citric acid. Citric acid is just old lemon juice. It's just the old yucky lemon juice that got squeezed out and nobody drank. Like, I didn't know that, because it ferments and then it turns to acid. You get all that like brewery stuff too. This was the big thing in the book that I was just talking about, is how they started making beer.
Send it to me.
I will. I really would like a lot of people.
Because normally I don't read. Reading is like kryptonite to me.
Because it hurts your eyes, or what?
I just can't pay attention long enough. I can't.
That's why I listen. I do the audible.
You know, it's just, oh my god.
It's impossible. I am not gonna lie to you. I agree with you. It's hard to stare at a page for longer than 2 minutes. For me.
Yeah.
But listening to the books helps me a lot. I don't know if you have that option on them.
Well, I can do that. I mean, I have a Kindle. What the fuck, right?
Yeah, I mean, do you know how to look up books on there?
Yeah.
Well, then fucking look up the Immortality Key.
Wait, hold on a second.
I'm here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a dab right now since we're here.
Go ahead.
I haven't the whole time. We've got some comments. Cameo by Mike. Oh, Cameo by Mike was just giving me a shout out for hiding the plants.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
Yeah, he's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. Him and Mrs. Cameo by Mike are probably my only two fans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Did you hear the story about my cat almost dying last week?
I don't think so. Did you? I wasn't on the show last week.
Thank you. If Simon comes back, we could let him back on. That'd be great.
I mean, give me that.
I didn't know if you were still there.
Fast.
I didn't know you were there. What were you doing?
That was less than a minute.
Where were you?
I just let you guys talk. I got your back.
No, I just did it. If you were around, that's fine. But if you weren't around, I don't want you rushing like that. That was good. That was real quick. So thank you all.
Working on another show.
That's fine, as long as you were near the computer. Yes, thank you all. Simon is probably the greatest guest that I've ever had on Good versus Evil, and I don't want everybody to be like, "Oh, it's just an old man." He's obviously not that old. He said he's only 62. Dad's 10 years older than that, and I don't know. I feel like he's in a bit better shape. I tried comparing Simon's heroin addiction to my dad's cigarette addiction. I don't think we really got that solved. But I do want people to understand that all addictions are just like in your head. Like you really don't have to do the things you're doing all the time. You just like gotta realize what hormones you're attracting, what hormones you're fiending for every night, and deflect. Simon, deflect your hormones, and you'll be better. That's what you got to do. You know what my big hormone is? Dopamine.
Huh.
You know how I get
What?
dopamine? My big problem ADD wise was ADD is hormonal imbalance. All head shit is hormonal imbalance. It's chemical imbalance, hormonal imbalance, all the crap you want to talk about. It all ends up having to play with your hormones. Your hormones come from your glands. Whatever glands you want to talk about, we can talk about later. But that's where hormones come from. They all get produced by these glands, the pituitary, the thyroid. My favorite gland is the pineal gland. That's like the one in the back of your head, in the middle of your brain.
Uh-huh.
That controls your sleep and all that crap. That's where melatonin is created. But we can talk about the point. Where I'm getting at right now is when you take drugs, when you get hit in the head, when you have inflammation and all this, like, I don't know, ever get hit in the head with a baseball? I have.
Oh,
2 or
yeah.
3 times.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so like even all shit like that, that's equal to or greater than a cut on your wrist. You know, like your brain's still gotta heal, and we don't let it. We never do. We just assume it gets better on its own every single time. And just like when I broke my arm last year, by being pinned down on the floor and not realizing that it was broken. It was like a hairline fracture. Over time, the artery that got pinched, I'm like having like really like I'm on coffee right now, and I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I'm like rushing, and I feel like this little pulsation in my shoulder just from like when I pinched an artery when I broke my arm. Like I wanna say that I want, like, this is what a stroke, like pre-stroke symptoms are, because you can like feel like the bulge, the blood like trying to pass through, because it's like in my opinion, it's trying to get blood to an area that's inflamed.
Right.
You know, and that's the same deal with your brain. Like, and you say you have ADHD, right? But like in other readings I've done, you just have arteries in your head that have been so accustomed to following paths that you're so used to all the damn time that you think you have ADHD, but like you're just used to doing the shit you always have done, because that's where your pathways are saying, like, we got the most oxygen flow this way. Let's get this guy the most oxygen we can because he's falling apart and he needs oxygen.
It's really interesting.
Oxygen's the biggest thing, man, because without oxygen, you can't heal. Without healing, like, you need oxygen to heal. Like, that heals everything in you, and we don't get enough of it. And that's the thing with your lungs. Like, you have so much mucus backed up in your body, and mucus can be a good thing because mucus can kind of defend from bacteria, and that's kind of the point of it. But when you have like continued inflammation from smoking all the time, not to say it's a horrible thing, because it obviously doesn't affect you. Like, do you ever have like shortness of breath?
Oh yeah.
Well, if you got shortness, do you have narcolepsy at all?
I have sleep apnea.
You sleep like just sitting down? You're
not
one of those
necessarily.
guys? Okay,
I stop breathing when I sleep.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
In increments of like anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds to
You're just like you sound like my dad. You sound like where my dad was, and then I bitched at him for 5 years, and then he ended up getting polyps this past year, and now all of a sudden, Simon, those polyps are all gone. They didn't come back. He thought he was gonna have lung cancer and deal with all that because like 4 or 5 years ago he had skin cancer, and like skin cancer is just because you're white and dumb and we're told that you have to put sunscreen on your whole life. But by putting sunscreen on, it pretty much tells all you white people that you can't deal with the sun when we're all supposed to deal with the sun. Everybody's supposed to get sun. We're not supposed to be putting SPF fucking 60 on to say like people want their creamy white skin, I guess. I don't know what it is, but we're all supposed to tan. Like melanin is a chemical that we all have in our body, and if you don't allow it to accumulate because you keep dousing yourself in cream, you're never gonna learn how to adjust to the sun.
Oh shit.
I don't know, man. I'm all over the place right now. I got high. I took that dab and I started coasting on.
Oh man, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna hold on here, Jay.
No, you don't have to hold on any longer. We can end it. We can end it in a few minutes. There's I want to send you a care package, Simon. I'm definitely gonna get you a care package. I know you don't trust the post office. I can UPS it.
I'll message you my address.
Yeah, figure that out. You got my DM. I think we're on a mission here to get you breathing normal. But you said you get your check at the end of the week. I mean, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Don't be shy to ask for any suggestions. I want you to get some plants in your fucking health, all right, dude?
Yeah, I gotta get myself a goddamn air conditioner.
Is it just hot? Is it muggy? What's the deal?
Well, the problem is that the humidity is like 9%. So that means 104 feels like 104. So, and with the very high pollen that's been going on for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
yeah,
and the wind kicks up, and that kicks the pollen out, and it's just a fucking nightmare, man. Oh, it's a nightmare. I feel like Barry White when I talk. I got this like deep voice now.
Once you clear up that mucus, whenever you decide to take some, I don't know how do you not like tea? Are you just not a tea guy?
No, I'll drink tea. I have a pot, a 4-quart pot that I can fill up halfway with water.
Okay.
And then I don't know what else can I put in it. I'm
looking for herbs. I want to get you into some herbal bullshit, man. I want you to learn how to dance with dandelion.
Put a towel over my head. Stick my head in the pot.
Okay. And does that do it for you?
It helps. It's helped before.
We got to get you some eucalyptus. I got a guy coming from Australia next month. Maybe I can get him to get you some real Australian eucalyptus.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
I actually take showers now, and I'll just crank it up in the first like 2 minutes of my shower, and I bring a plant with me to the fucking shower. It's kind of my thing, and I just huff that eucalyptus plant till no tomorrow, and get as high. Like one of my favorite things about weed is that every smell that comes off of cannabis is on another plant. Every single smell, every single thing on the cannabis is on another plant.
Right.
And like the best thing about weed is weed has all those things, but other plants are able to like hold higher concentrations of those smells. And one of my favorite terms the best Lipdol is, I don't know how people aren't harvesting eucalyptol because it has such a mentholy effect where it like almost soothes it. So like if people could figure out how to get eucalyptol in a high like content strain, like you were looking for an ADHD strain earlier.
Yes.
Don't get me going. Do you know what, like, we don't need to go all night. I got one more subject with cannabis. So do you know like how they're all grown different, they're all from different places, and like there's cannabinoids and THC and blah 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 blah. Like, does that matter to you, or do you just buy weed normally just to buy weed, right? Or like you get it?
Well, if I could get a good sativa every so often, I try. And even if I gotta pay a little more.
Here's my problem with weed. Like, how do you even know it's a sativa? Because you're buying from a dispensary?
That's the only way I would know.
Okay, all right.
And
as long as you know that that's what it is. Like, if you're buying off the street, I can't deal with these people that are buying off the street and saying,
as long as I'm less anxious, as long as I'm less depressed, as long as I'm less suicidal, I mean, I don't give a fuck what it is, honestly. But because that's why I look at it as my medicine.
Yeah.
So it's sure I still have to take a pill every so often because I have to, and
like
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm gonna see if you can give me something else that doesn't make me drool.
What would you say? Like, I want to take responsibility for you taking the dive. But what would you say is your biggest qualm? Is the suicidal thoughts, or like not feeling like, why do you think, what drives you to feel like if you don't take the medicine that you're gonna, because I feel like nobody should cold turkey it. Like, cold turkeying is scary shit. But if you're in those places, like, you didn't think about stuff like that before you were on drugs, right?
I never really thought about it until after I got clean.
Yeah.
Because my mind, my thinking was so fucked up. And it wasn't the fact that my job was trying to fire me. If I was my boss, I would have fired me. And
you sound like me.
But it was my thinking that was fucked up. So once I had to change everything of what I knew, what I thought I knew, that I had a chance. So, and the days add up.
Even though your thinking was messed up, Simon, don't you feel like in your heart you didn't truly feel that way? It's just you were.
Well,
maybe
look at it this way: they talk about you being a product of your environment, right?
Yeah.
So,
but if you're drugged, your environment is drugged, right?
Well, no, but see, my dad never said to me, "You're stupid." He never said to me, "You're dumb." He never said, "You're never going to amount to anything."
Almost the opposite.
And so I kind of, my dad was never around, so I didn't have that. Like, I had to like tag along with one of my brothers, and I hated my childhood. I hated it. Oh my God.
Was there a specific reason? Were you getting picked on, or was it just because it was nothing to do?
All of that, and because of the fact that I had surgery when I was 6 years old, And
what happened?
I was born without an uvula.
Without what?
The uvula is that little thing that hangs in the back of your throat like a punching bag.
Okay.
And at the time, the doctors, in order for me to be able to breathe, they had to open up part of my, not my voice box, but something else. And so they made an uvula for me. And
what a guy.
I wound up spending about a month at Columbia Presbyterian in Manhattan. And the surgery left me with a little twang in my voice.
Okay.
So, it was, it's, when I told my story at meetings, I used to say that it was just like all, I was so afraid of opening my mouth. I had to learn how to talk all over again, and it was an experience.
Yeah.
I had to talk into one of those big old reel-to-reel tape recorders.
Yep, and listen to it over and over.
And, yeah, and that shit stays with you, and so I'm sure I have PTSD from that, and
I fucking hate that shit too, man.
It's like
I don't hate. Here's what I'm being asshole. I don't hate that you're dealing with shit. I hate that the words mean that you think that you can have something and be stuck with it.
Yeah, kind of.
Post-traumatic stress disorder is just a disorder that resulted from something, but like this is where I'm at with like mushrooms, all right, with psilocybin. I don't want to say mushrooms, I'm gonna say the drug. With psilocybin and LSD and things that I've learned and that expand your mind. Brain learning. It makes you expand your mind.
Right.
I forget what the hell is the word that I would neuroplasticity. That's the word.
Okay.
Neuroplasticity is like when you learn new things. Like even like you take a left instead of taking a right. Your brain's learning. Like it learns that you can go right instead of left, and then you start like a new pathway in your brain. So like even just doing simple things like that, like putting mustard on your sandwich instead of ketchup first. Like just changing the way that you do things can help you curb ADHD. You know what I'm saying? Even just by taking a shit instead of a shower one day. Like this is what I used to do is like I would like put my clothes out one day, right? And I would know that I was not gonna wear that. I would just like get ready to go somewhere and I would make sure that I would like fight myself to not wear what I put out. And because like what I put out to wear is like what I would wear to work or like what my wife would tell me to wear or something like that. And then like I would say like be who you want to be and wear what you want to wear. And then like the bucket hat came and then all the stupid t-shirts. So and that's how you kind of learn like what like you playing your guitar. That's you, man. Like that's why we fucking love you. Whatever that stupid song is you're gonna play. Or did you have a guitar or was I making that up?
No, I have.
Yeah, like the guitar is you. Like that's where Senior Stoner came from, I think, when we started seeing that. And
I haven't played in a while. I gotta buy new strings.
New strings? What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
We have a string guy. Patton Lawrence could do it for you. I don't know if you trust him, but he is I actually wanted him here to talk with you. He's one of my my loyal 14 followers. And I think he's getting kicked out of his house tonight.
No.
So it would have been awesome. Like you could have gave him some guidance, I feel like, and I think He was always, you know, a great follower.
It's my pleasure. I'm gonna think I'm gonna do a little bowl of this.
Okay.
It's called. What's it called? It's called. There we go. It's called Glue Ball number 7 Gold.
Okay.
27%. 27.7%. Something like that. Does a fucking job.
Has it been doing the anxiety job? Because I forgot. That's what got me into talking about whatever the fuck I've been talking about with the ADHD the last 10 minutes. Because you said something about that.
It's how my brain is wired to think and function like a normal human being.
Anxiety wise?
And yeah. And
you know where I learned about anxiety recently? And this is kind of, and I mentioned about my cat dying, all right, and not dying. Hopefully he's alive when I get home. He might have died from something else at this point. But I have had, I guess, previous lives, kind of like what you said, you have to run away and do this and that. You're on the whatever. There's other times in my life where I've had living situations that were different. And at one point in time, we took in a couple kitty cats because you kind of assume kids want to have cats. They'll change, they don't end up taking care of the cat. You end up taking care of the cats. So I ended up bonding with the children's cats that I was living with. And then you break up and move on, and you think that they're dead to you, and da-da-da-da-da. But then one day, the cats come back. So your new living situation, and your ex-girlfriend just assumes that you're the cat guy and you're wanting cats, so you'll keep the cats. But then you end up learning that the kids were the ones that said, "Oh, we want Jason to have the cats because he loves the cats." So I ended up with 2 cats because I already had a cat, and kids assumed because I had a cat that I wanted 2 more cats because their mom wanted a dog, and the dog didn't like the cats. So the dog won, and I'm not done. So she didn't want to give me the cats, all right? So I know for a fact that she tried to shovel them off to somebody else. Before asking the kids, who do you think we could give them to? And then the kids saying, the last person she fucking wants to give them to. The problem is, Simon, is that these cats were brother and sister, all right? And when I received them, it's almost as if they didn't know each other anymore. And they were only like 1 and 2. Like, they weren't old where they forgot each other or something. But here's what I'm going to say is they were given to somebody to be watched for like a weekend and maybe given a little bit of food to deal with while she figured out what to do with the cats. So what happened was the fatter cat ate all the food, and then there was no food left. So they started to like fight each other, I guess. For I don't know how long, but it was long enough for these 2 cats to forget that they were brother and sister.
Wow.
So now I have them, and they can't, like, it's death. It's like to the death. And this is why my cat, why the younger of the 2, ended up in the hospital the other day, because he's holding his pee because he's so scared to go to the litter box. Because I tried to share a litter box, but now they have separate litter boxes, so we're all good.
Well,
and I unclogged his kidneys with hemp oil and clove oil in his mouth. He didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. But got rid of his kidneys.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Dude, I'm just glad it worked. I'm glad it worked because I thought I was gonna have another dead cat. About a month ago, I shoveled one off the street that was like 30 pounds.
Oh, I used to hate that.
I used him as fertilizer. He's underneath a pine tree in my backyard now. I've been feeding the ground a lot of fungus cleaner, not cleaner, fungus fertilizer. Like I mentioned to you, the compost.
Right.
The cat is practically compost for my pine tree now.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you ready to go? You ready to go now? You want to wrap this up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Listen, man,
Been a pleasure.
I really appreciate you inviting me.
Whatever you could take from it. If you could take anything from this, please. I mean, I'm just trying to spread as much stupid knowledge as I've learned in the past couple of years as I can.
Yeah, man, this is fucking cool. No,
Yeah, well, all these assholes are sick of it. They're all sick of it because I'm talking like out of this world shit, and I'm just tired of doctors. I'm just so tired of doctors, man. And
yeah,
too many people have been in front of my face on like BetterHelp.com and told me like, you're bipolar, you're schizophrenic, you're like, dude, I was a drunk and now I'm not, and I had so many fucking TBIs. They don't even know how to respond to shit like that. Like, oh yeah, and can you write this down? Do you have a pen there? SPECT.
SPECT. Wait.
That's the scan that I
say it
want to
again.
know. SPECT. It's called a SPECT scan, and they literally, I think it's the same idea as a CAT scan, except they just do your brain.
Oh, I got you.
And what they do is, I think they have to like make you do different things during like different parts of the scan, so that there's different activity going on in your brain. But what it does is it measures, like they'll set like my brain against your brain, or like a perfect brain versus your brain, and they'll be like, oh, look it, when this guy's playing it on the computer, this is the oxygen level going through his brain. When you're playing on the computer, look it, there's no oxygen going this way, there's no oxygen, what's amazing, Simon, is like when the guy that taught me, the guy that wrote the book that I learned, his name, he's a big religious doctor in New York. His name's Daniel Amen, and I think it's funny that his last name's Amen. But he started seeing that like alcoholics and schizophrenics and all these people that had all these problems, whenever you would look at their brains, they all look the same. Like, whether you were drunk, not to say that they're all exactly the same, but there were so many similarities in like the way this specific scan, because this scan was never used to look at the brain before, because nobody thought that oxygen levels determined the way your brain works. It's funny how every organ that we use gets a scan. Heart, your dick, everything, your stomach, every fucking organ that's wrong with you, they'll scan it, except your brain. They'll look at the MRI, but that shows nothing. I just watched an accident. All right, Simon, we can get back on this another day. Maybe I'll see you Saturday night if they allow me on the weed chat. But thank you again. It's been a pleasure. Get me your address. I'll get you something soon. And we will figure this out. This has been Good versus Evil, ladies and gentlemen. Senior Stoner.
Cool. It was very cool.
You're the greatest. I hope to see you on that guitar back again soon, man. We'll talk later, Simon.
All right. We'll do. Be good.
Be good, man. Ladies and gentlemen. I hope Bobby Fitz has a great night. Whoa. Snake's cake for the boys. Thank you to Barstool Advisor. Thank you to Killer Cole. Thank you to Hit the Post. I do what I do so that they know the crew. Nope, not gonna go with that one. I don't know why I did that with Bobby Fitz and Killer. I just didn't really like the fake, like, Johnny Carson Tonight Show vibe. Like he thought he was on a talk show. I guess it was cool that he knew Tibbetts. But then it's not cool because, like, it was cool because he shit on him a little bit. So if we ever fight against Billy Tibbetts, we got a guy that could. Is that why Bobby Fitz is cool? I wanted to know why Justin had him on. Justin reaching out to Bobby Fitz is interesting to me. He's a wild guy on Twitter. Crazy Bobby Fitz. Sneaks needs to stop pretending like he has authority on Meeting of the Minds. Big content Sneaks, huh? Where does your head have to be? If you're driving, I get the joke. I get the beeping outside the studio. But where's your head have to be to do that? I guess you love your kids. You should. I'm gonna just take a quick peek at all the comments I don't have. And I want to thank Simon again. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Three minutes to post. Thank you tonight also to the moon, because that is why we are here. Strawberry moon season. Don't float too high. Just look at the sky, and you will all realize that this world is all lies. Freddie Adu was a great soccer player in college, but then he went to DC United and he just didn't even pan out. It's always interesting to see how that works, huh? Star talent. I mean, first of all, you're playing a sport that you grew up playing, and when you're 14 years old and you're playing the same sport that you played, and that's all you know, I don't think you've ever experienced like watching Mickey Mouse. You can't be a good soccer player without watching Mickey Mouse. That doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna do that. Just trying to end the show. Things take time. I'm all done with life as a whole today. Care package to Simon. ADHD is a symptom not a disorder. It's a symptom of brain health being lack. Freddie dude's not gonna last much longer. But it's midnight. I love you. Here's the song. Love you, killer.